Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Franklin and Marshall College Football. For the second time in the 2-year history of Shadek Stadium, this spanking new field in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, is hosting a bowl game. Franklin and Marshall making a return trip to the Centennial-MAC Bowl Challenge Series this year to take on the Warriors of Lycoming College. Hello, everybody. I'm Phil Soto-Ortiz, Jack Keffer alongside, and Jack, we didn't know the Diplomats were going to be here. The last time we were here, F&M, heartbreaking loss against Ursinus. That put F&M in a precarious spot for a bowl game, but F&M got a gift last Sunday during the NCAA Tournament Selection Show. Muhlenberg got a very deserved at-large bid to the NCAA Tournament. That took the Mules out of the bowl picture and brought in the Diplomats, so they get the chance to get another win on Tom Gilbert Field, just like they did last year against Wyoming.
Yeah, they also got a gift last spring when the MAC Conference and the Centennial Conference met and decided to create that third team bowl game. Last year, it was just the top two teams from the MAC and the Centennial who did not make the NCAA tournament. This year, it is the top three teams. Lycoming is lucky to be in. Change that. Not lucky, but they earned their spot by beating Misericordia in the last game of the season. They finished 4-4, tied for fourth place. However, because of the tiebreakers, they were that number 3 option for the MAC bowl game. And this is only the third time in the long history of these college football teams that they have met, first time since the 90s, and it's going to be a good matchup today against a strong defense with Lycoming and a good defense in F&M. We got to see what quarterback the senior in Tanner Erisman or the freshman on the other side for Lycoming can pull through.
Well, that's a pretty good point. It is going to be a contrast in that respect. F&M's Tanner Erisman, 4 years at F&M, through about 2.5 seasons as the starter. His work needs no introduction. He was a first-team all-conference selection last year, didn't make an all-conference team this year, and that was not necessarily undeserved. It wasn't to be this year for Tanner Erisman. The offense was a little bit different this year for Franklin and Marshall, but still, F&M under very strong leadership with Tanner Erisman, and Lycoming looking a little bit more toward the future. Elijah Samori, a freshman starter this season. He had a pretty efficient year throwing the ball, 12 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, so not necessarily efficient in that respect. But like Tanner Erisman, he also brings the aspect of the run. 8 rushing touchdowns this season, all of them, by the way, on quarterback sneaks. It's going to be an interesting mix of styles.
Yeah, but, those guys are also surrounded by a lot of talent. 7 first-teamers for Lycoming, 7 first-teamers for Franklin and Marshall. We'll get to those names on the other side of the anthem.
At F&M, the whole culture is engaged on developing students. At F&M, the whole culture is engaged on developing students.
Today we invite and authorize each of you to have big dreams.
And, of course, as you're going to see, if you haven't seen it already, the Diplomats wearing their special all-black uniforms. Trying to channel a little New Zealand rugby?
Or channel the Birds from last week, but, they might want to stay on the winning side instead of the
We'll go with New Zealand
end.
rugby. How about that?
I like that. They look fresh, though.
Yeah, if you're not at all familiar with rugby, that is very much a compliment, by the way. So Franklin and Marshall is going to receive the opening kickoff. Lycoming won the toss, and in the spirit of Shadek Stadium and this campus of Franklin and Marshall College, and really the entire football landscape, elected to defer. If you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice.
Yeah.
Name that song, Jack.
Well over my head.
And well before your time.
Yep.
It's a little Rush for you. Free
Okay.
Will.
I should know that because I've listened to that song.
We'll learn you about Rush at some point. Oh, one of my coworkers is about your age wearing an AC/DC shirt at work yesterday. I was happy to see that.
That was my first album.
There
Back
you
in
go.
Black.
As everybody's first album. Jamie Fisher, first team All-MAC kicker, will tee it up for Lycoming. Brendan Deering, Mac Fote back to receive for F&M. And they're going to let that one go into the end zone for the 17th touchback of the season for Jamie Fisher. He has got himself a boot. And Franklin and Marshall, under the leadership of Tanner Arisman, will begin on offense. It'll be 1st and 10 Diplomats at the 25-yard line. The tailback, Joe Hartley-Vittoria, not an all-conference selection, but he had himself a heck of a sophomore season as well. The wide receivers, Tim Walter, KJ Pretty, and Kevin Lammers. Pretty, for the second year in a row, is a first-team All-Centennial Conference player. Tyler Schubert is the tight end. The tackles, Brian Denoncourt and Tim Fink, Phil Weiser, and Eli Lapper. The guards, Brandon Lowe is the center, and we'll get plenty of looks at Jordan Sellers at a guard spot as well. RPO, Arisman, the slant for Pretty, that's incomplete. A little bit high, and he was covered pretty well on that one. Nasir Bowen with the coverage. It'll be 2nd and 10. I wasn't fully expecting to see KJ Pretty make the first team. His stats not nearly as gaudy and pinball-like as they were during his junior season, but that's almost an unfair standards, and the coaches around the Centennial probably realize that and realize he is definitely one of the top 3 wideouts in the league.
Always need to shade a safety over to his side and make sure that the defense is highlighting him. I'm sure Lycoming has a good scouting report.
Hartley-Vittoria, hesitation, good patience, and he breaks off a 9-yard run on 2nd and 10. It'll be 3rd and 1. Let's take a look at the starting defense for Lycoming. They go with a 4-man front of Matt Stankiewicz, Kyle Pierce, Ahmad Curtis, and Sam Romanovsky are both All-MAC players. Curtis a first-teamer, and Romanovsky is a second-teamer. The linebackers, Dominic Lafredo, Trey Smith, and Jarrell Payne. The cornerbacks, Nasir Bowen and DJ Boyd. Joe Pinska and Jeff Copeland are the safeties, and they are good. 4 interceptions apiece for Pinska and Bowen. And Copeland, excuse me. They gave Hartley-Vittoria the full 10 yards, 1st and 10 F&M from the 35. Hartley-Vittoria, second time carrying the ball, gets about 2. And I'll bring up 2nd and 8. This is a strong defense for Lycoming. 3rd defensively in the MAC, 4th against the run, 7th against the pass.
Hold opponents to about 20 points per game, and that's what they're known for. They've always touted out strong defenses in the MAC, and usually you see low-scoring games. They shut out Misericordia in the second half, the final game of the season. Misericordia had an excellent run this season.
2nd and 8. Yeah, that's really one of the great stories is Arisman underneath. He finds his intended target. It's Kevin Lammers, the first team all-conference punt returner, crosses the 50 to the 49. Pickup of 16 yards, 1st and 10 F&M in Lycoming territory.
Yeah, Kevin Lammers, the first teamer on the special team side, but he makes an impact on the offense, usually lines up in the slot. And a just quick route there exposes the linebacking cores that came in on the blitz. And Arisman able to make a completion for a first down.
This is one of not 3 but 4 matchups between MAC and Centennial teams going on today. We'll explain. Here comes the blitz. Picked up. Hartley-Vittoria's got lots of room. Grabbed from behind. That prevented a bigger run. Got to the 41-yard line. A pickup of 8. It'll be 2nd and 2, and Hartley-Vittoria looked like he was in the clear, and somebody at the line of scrimmage got a handful of jersey. That's a nice job over there.
Matt Kalin.
Smith came up with that.
I think it was 41 Matt Kalin who made a great tackle. Maybe I'm mistaken, but regardless, great job to hang on to the back of the jersey and bring him down. It looks like Hartley-Vittoria was just going to bum rush up the middle.
2nd and 2. Hartley-Vittoria sets up now to the right of Tanner Arisman in the shotgun. Arisman pulls it out of there, and he's got an open man for a first down. That's Tim Walter, crosses the 30, down to the 28-yard line. Pickup of 13, 1st and 10 F&M. They're on the move.
The offensive line doing a really nice job of blocking. They've picked up blitzes. Look at this great blocking, shading everybody to the left side, and Arisman just with plenty of time and a quick out.
I mentioned that there are 4 Centennial-MAC games going on today. They're the 3 bowl matchups. And also Muhlenberg and Del Val, first-round NCAA tournament matchup. That's at Delaware Valley. I like Muhlenberg's chances in that game. I am a little biased. 1st and 10. Arisman play action. He's going for Pretty in the end zone. Overthrew him just a tad. It'll be 2nd and 10. Coverage was pretty good. That was DJ Boyd drawing that assignment.
Yeah, Boyd originally not starting earlier in the season, but because a couple of injuries in the secondary, Boyd has stepped in, and he's done a nice job. It's going to be a great matchup between those two guys, and you see one-on-one. Arisman liked his chances with KJ Pretty over the top, just the second time that he's overthrown him on this drive.
2nd and 10, they'll go with 4 wide receivers. Pretty and Lammers on the near side. Hartley Vittoria in the backfield. Arisman is going to throw the comeback route. Unable to make the catch was Tim Walter. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Well, 3 tough passes from Arisman on this drive, and it seems like he's just either having a hard time gripping the football. Maybe it's cold right now, trying to get his hand warm. He's got the right hand in his back pocket. Usually you don't see those overthrows from Arisman, but he's going to have to make a play here on 3rd and 10.
11:42 to go, quarter number 1. F&M on its opening drive started at the 25-yard line. 47 yards so far. 4 wide receivers. Hartley Vittoria is the tailback. He'll go out. QB draw. Arisman angling to the 25. And then wisely ran out of bounds as Bowen had his angle cut off. That's 2 down territory for F&M, and Arisman wisely realizing that he did not have to get decapitated to get that 1st down on 3rd.
Yeah, he was going to take a big hit, and Arisman does a nice job.
That's going to set up 4th and 3, and that is the bad news for F&M, or this is it. Lycoming, number 1 in the nation, stopping 4th down. They're especially good deep in their own territory. They allowed opponents to get just 2 first downs on 19 attempts, and they had 3 stops inside the 10-yard line. This one's out at the 21. F&M needs to get to the 18. Arisman in the shotgun. He's got 3 wideouts. Rolls right, cocking the right arm, throws it out for Lammers. Could not make the catch. Broken up by Boyd. DJ Boyd on the far side, and it'll be 1st and 10 going the other way.
Well, that's an excellent play from DJ Boyd to break up that pass. They bring the blitz, put Arisman under pressure. He has an open man, and it's a good throw right up top, and that's just a great breakup. It was actually Jeff Copeland who was on the pass breakup right there. Again, Lycoming coming up clutch on 4th down.
So Lycoming adds to its NCAA leading numbers. 1st and 10, and Elijah Shamori to the offense. I'll get our first look at the freshman signal caller who sets up in the pocket and now runs out of time, as many quarterbacks do when they go up against the F&M defensive front. Back at the 17-yard line, loss of 4. It'll be 2nd and 14. Granahan, some pressure up front. Hurricane in the middle, and then coming from the other side is Bobby McDevitt, the linebacker, for the sack.
And it looks like Shimori had his man downfield, but Hurricane just jumps up to block the passing lane. Shimori is forced to step up, and he steps right into the defensive line.
Jacob Fimbers is the tailback. Man goes in motion. Give to Fimbers. He's got some room on the right side to the 20 and out to the 22-yard line. Picked up the lost yardage and a couple of more. It'll be 3rd and 9.
Well, this offense for Lycoming, you'll see a lot of passing. Shimmery has aired it out a couple of over 30, 35 times in some games, 35 attempts. Good quarterback, freshman quarterback, learning slowly but surely, and he's only going to get better as his career progresses. It's so rare to be able to step in as a true freshman and be able to get the time and experience that he has gotten this year.
Shimori calling out the play at the line. F&M just rushes 4. Shimori chased out of the pocket, looking downfield, throws it over the middle, and it's broken up. Double coverage, read pretty well by F&M. Pass was intended for John Kim. Never got there. 4th and 8. And Lycoming will have to punt.
Well, you see the pressure F&M gets by just rushing 3 here. And then the linebackers, great job anticipating. Seb Silva was stutter-stepping his way, and as soon as Shmori made it out of the pocket, Silva was there.
Connor Bell back to punt. And Kevin Lammers will receive for F&M. First team All-Centennial punt returner. Is long this year, 51. Good snap. No pressure. Good kick. Fair catch is called for and made, and I think Lammers might have gotten a piece of that one, and he did. It's going to be Warriors football. The rare mistake by Kevin Lammers hands the ball to the Warriors at the F&M 38-yard line. That is not the start that F&M needed.
And you know, Phil, Kevin Lammers was first team on special teams because he never did this season. But look, there's a lot of wind out there, and I think the wind just killed that football when it was in the air. It was spinning differently. Lammers thought he had a read on it, and it just at the end died right in front of him. Tough for Kevin Lammers, and new life for Lycoming.
He signaled for the fair catch, which was the right play, and it seemed like he just couldn't move the feet once he had them set. Shimori fakes the jet sweep. He's going to air it out right side. He's got Costello wide open for the touchdown. 38 yards. Nick Costello, first team All-MAC receiver, 5 yards behind anybody trying to cover him. Shimori hit him in stride. It's 6-0 Lycoming. It took one play.
9th touchdown on the year for Costello, and he just breaks through the secondary. It's good coverage downfield. Shimori is patient, and he just wings it over the top. No one is near him.
Jamie Fisher for the extra point. Only missed 2 all year. And he doesn't miss this one. 5:49 into the game, and Lycoming has shocked F&M. A good start for the Warriors. They're on top 7-0 in the Centennial-MAC Bowl Challenge game. You're watching Franklin and Marshall College football at GoDiplomats.com. F&M with an inauspicious beginning to this game. The turnover, and then one play later, Elijah Samori, the freshman, with his 13th touchdown pass of the year. And his favorite target has been Nick Costello, 6'5", 205. He'd be my favorite target, too. That's the 9th touchdown reception of the year for Costello. 7-0 Lycoming. This one will stay in the field of play. Boy, you weren't kidding about the wind. Brendan Deering to the 20, to the 25, gets to the outside to the 30, inside to makes a move to the 35, and all the way out to the 38-yard line. Nice return for Brendan Deering, the sophomore. He's finally tackled by Trey Borger. Deering trying to give his team a spark because right now I think the Diplomats need it.
Yeah, they do, and they looked pretty good on that first offensive drive, rolling down the field. They had a great first defensive stop, 3 and out. They forced them, and then they forced the punt. And it's just the muff punt, and then that one big play to Costello that's really turned the tide. It's been 2 plays that changed the whole outlook of the game.
Harrisman to Keyshawn Farmer getting some touches on this second series. Then he gets out to the 45-yard line, pick up, they'll mark it at the 44, pick up a 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. Keyshawn Farmer has really been a revelation for F&M this year, as has his teammate Joe Hartley-Vittoria. It's a really nice pair of running backs.
Yeah, and, you know, Keyshawn didn't get as many carries as Hartley-Vittoria. The freshman, he had 91 rushes, while Vittoria had 171. But there were a couple of games during that stretch where basically every other series they were getting the ball and switching off here and there.
Second and 5 F&M. Tyler Schubert, the tight end, goes in motion and back to the left. And Farmer tries to follow him that way, and he is hit in the backfield and brought down for a loss. Nice read on that play by Sam Romanowski, second team All-MAC defensive lineman. This is a very strong defensive line. They also have a very good freshman, Matt Stankiewicz, who starts 5'11", 226 out of Oliphant, PA. Yeah, tough defensive front.
Romanowski, one of the great defensive linemen on this squad for Lycoming, and he just bowls through the block of Tyler Schubert.
Third and 5, F&M. Farmer was lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Harrisman drops back, looks left, nice pocket, cocks the arm. Now a run, now he'll throw, and he's got Kevin Lammers open inside the 35-yard line of Lycoming, down to the 34. 22-yard pickup from Harrisman to Lammers, 1st and 10, F&M, and Harrisman had a beautiful pocket, eventually broke down, but this is good protection.
Yeah, and it's good work from Lammers on the outside, recognizes that his quarterback is in trouble, so he peels back to the inside. His route originally was right towards the sideline, and he just turns over his left shoulder and cuts back towards the middle.
Also great work by Tim Fink on the right tackle to stay on his block and then let his man go. Farmer trying to string it out inside the 30, inside the 25, spins to the 20, still going, has a block to the 15. Stutter steps at the 12, and finally down at the 10-yard line, caught up from behind by Ahmad Curtis, also a first-team All-MAC defensive lineman. You could see why he had to pursue a long way. 24 yards for Keyshawn Farmer.
You know, this is a great run, and Farmer, his strength is this, right there. The sidestep, he's so quick laterally. He needs to just get a little more vertical. It's a great lead block from KJ Pretty to help him out. Look at that. He stutter steps into the spin move. And to the other side of the field, KJ Pretty did a really nice job blocking downfield.
Great job on the replay, guys, because we got to look at KJ Pretty. He was just looking for somebody to block. Harrisman has it, throws, he'll throw it out the back of the end zone. Smart play, and then there's a flag in the end zone, and this one might go against Lycoming.
Yeah, I think it looked like DJ Boyd was locked up with KJ Pretty.
Which is a tough penalty for Lycoming to take, because if you're going to defend Pretty,
this
is kind of how you want to do it. In tight quarters, you don't want to have to stretch the whole field with him.
Yeah, and you got to be physical. Not many people can do it. DJ Boyd can. Let's see this run again.
Yeah, we're going to get a look. It's Pretty. He's like, I want to block somebody. Here we go. Yeah.
There's no foul for defensive pass interference. The catch was uncatchable.
No doubt about that.
Yeah.
Not only uncatchable, not even really intended to be caught.
Definitely the right call. Nice work from the officials.
As Tanner was trying to throw it to somebody out on the plaza. Then again, he's got the arm. If he wanted to do that, he would have gotten it there.
Yeah, he can gun it.
2019 season starts in about 2.5 hours. As soon as this one's over, it'll be fascinating. See who's going to win the job next year. But that's for next year. Deering on the right, Pretty on the left, double tight end set. Harrisman, nice play, pickup. He's got KJ Pretty at the 5, but he has to make a leaping catch, and he can go no further. Pick up a 5 yards. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 5.
Nice block here from Keyshawn Farmer. Comes and picks up the linebacker on the edge. Great cut block. Tough play for KJ Pretty to really get anything going.
That's another way you'll really, as a young player, endear yourself to your coaching staff. They know Keyshawn Farmer can run the ball. He can pick up blocks like that. He becomes doubly valuable.
Yeah, and he's an undersized running back, too. If he can hold off these big guys, credit to him.
3rd and 5. Harrisman looking left, looking for Schubert in the end zone, and it's intercepted. Lycoming led the MAC in passes intercepted, and that is the 18th of the year. And Harrisman, I don't know if he's a little late on this throw or just underthrew it, But Joe Pinska, that's his 5th of the year. He tied for the team lead with Copen. It'll be 1st and 10 Lycoming at the 25-yard line. Now, F&M has shown ability to move the ball. It's the ends of drives that haven't been so prosperous.
Yeah, and the red zone defense for Lycoming has been great. Erzman just forced that throw. He was looking to the left side the whole time, saw Schubert peel off into the end zone, thought he had a window, didn't throw it strong, and Pinska was just right there waiting for that throw. It's great coverage from Lycoming. Not a good decision from Erzman there in the red zone. You'd rather get 3 than come away with nothing.
Lycoming back to the offense. Shimori. Fimbers takes the handoff at the 20. Getting a good push from the offensive line out to the 23 to the 24-yard line. Pick up a 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. Let's take a look at the rest of the offensive starters for Lycoming. The wide receivers, well, you already met Nick Costello. John Kim and Brock Zollikoffer are the others. Mike Mulvihill, very good tight end. He's a special teamer, all-MAC player. The linemen from left to right, Cody Botts, Ethan Newton, Brad Stubbs, Dan Sips, and Jacob Estevez. Stubbs is a first-team all-MAC at center. Shimori on 2nd and 6, rolls left. Throws the out. That one's caught. Zollikoffer. That's outside the 30-yard line to the 32. Pickup of 7. It'll be 1st and 10 for Lycoming. Let's meet the Franklin and Marshall defense. F&M fans, you know them. Lycoming fans are just neutral people. Joe Granahan, left defensive end. 3-time first-team All-Centennial player. Great career. Frank McGlinchey is the other end. Tom Horkin and Brendan Kilkenny are the tackles. Kilkenny was a second-teamer this year. Give you the rest of the starters after this. 1st and 10 for Lycoming. Hand off to Fimbers. Outside the 30 to about the 37-yard line. Pick up a 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. The linebackers for F&M, and this was an awfully good crew again this year, and that, of course, was to be expected. Vince Speranza, Bobby McDevitt, and Seb Silva Muniz. The cornerbacks, Thomas Downs and Steph Smith. Safeties, Sean Lewandowski and Marlon Fenstermacher.
Seb Silva had an outstanding season. I can remember every single home game. He was one of the key defensive members, so integral when F&M needed it most, or in a first-team spot.
Shimori. Coming back is Costello, who does a great job fighting for that ball. He just absolutely outworked Steph Smith to come back and make that catch. And 1st and 10 for Lycoming. That is a first-team all-league receiver kind of play.
Yeah, I mean, that ball is 50-50, and great hands to just be able to reel that in. He's got the positioning, and he just makes a quick catch. Ball goes right to his hip, and he's able to hang on.
Awfully strong throw as well. That was a laser from Shimori. 1st and 10 Lycoming at their own 48. Shimori, he's rushed from behind, throws it out. What a catch by Fimbers at the 50 to the 45 to the 40. He could go down the sideline, and he is gone. 52-yard touchdown catch and run for Fimbers from Elijah Shimori, and it's 13-0 Lycoming. Big blitz was on. Smith almost got there, and Fimbers had to make a big catch, but once he did, he had one man to beat. Downs couldn't get off of his block. Even if he had, I don't think he catches Fimbers. Fisher's going to try to make it 14-0.
Yeah, just nobody in the secondary. F&M brought the blitz, and they left everywhere else wide open. Longest receiving touchdown of the year for Jacob Fimbers by a long shot. Only his 3rd reception as well.
Snap was botched. Right along the ground. Holder could not get it down. Technically, it will go as a missed extra point for Fisher. That's not really fair. It's only his 3rd miss of the season. But right now, all the momentum with the Warriors. Lycoming 13, F&M nothing. You're watching Franklin and Marshall College football at GoDiplomats.com. Lycoming 13-0 over F&M. Short kick. And it'll be taken at the 20-yard line. For F&M, Chapman to middle of the field, out to the 35, and finally wrestled down at the 39-yard line. Nicely done by Joshua Chapman. And F&M will have nice field position, 1st and 10 at its own 39. But right now, I think emotionally, F&M is in danger. They really need to put together another drive. I don't mind so much that F&M has not gotten in the end zone because F&M has shown it can move the ball in Lycoming. Obviously, at some point, Diplomats are going to have to come away with points. But right now, I think what F&M is, the way that F&M has gotten beaten defensively, they could be in danger of getting demoralized.
Yeah, it's just over-the-top passes. Doesn't look good.
Hartley Vittoria has to beat one man. He does. Gets outside the 40 to the 42. Pickup of 3. Strung out pretty nicely. DJ Boyd ultimately came up with a tackle after the first hit was made by Matt Callion.
I got to give a shout-out to my guy, Josh Chapman, who returned that kick. We don't say his name too often. He's a junior from Washington, D.C., one of the best guys on the football team, and he is a treat to see on a daily basis, and one of my favorite individuals on the F&M squad.
2nd and 7 for the Diplomats. Line up Deering on the near side. Tim Walter goes in motion. Arisman rolls left. Throws it out for Pretty, and it's a little too high, incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 7. Coverage was again pretty good. AJ Pretty has had some trouble getting untracked.
Yeah, granted, the throws have been offline a bit from Tanner Arisman. He's overthrown him 3 different times. So, but he, like you said, the coverage is good. He's right. I mean, Boyd is right on his tail, and they've just gone one-on-one too. It's not a safety shaded over. This is good coverage in the secondary from Lycoming. We'll see if they can force a 3-and-out here.
2 wide receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Arisman looking left, now back over the right. Finds Pretty for a first down inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. And that was traditional, classic Arisman to Pretty.
It's just a bullet right over the middle of the field. Just, hey, get open, cut inside, and I'm just going to throw this as hard as I can 20 yards downfield right into your hands. Nice work from those 2.
And one thing about KJ Pretty, he can make a catch and withstand contact.
Big body, so athletic, and that's what separates the good wide receivers from the great ones.
1st and 10 F&M. Once again, able to move the ball. Schubert in motion. Farmer the tailback. The give is to Keyshawn Farmer. Finds a seam inside the 35 and knocked down to the 32-yard line. Pickup of 6. It'll be 2nd and 4. Keyshawn Farmer absolutely picks the right hole.
Yeah, he does. And again, you got to credit the offensive line. Look at those guys all matched up. Even in the secondary, you get some help there on the secondary blocking. That guy Initis on the block on the linebacker.
Also had Jordan Sellers going out there, just looking to hit somebody.
Yep.
His alma mater will be playing a District 3 championship game tonight. Gives to Keyshawn Farmer, this time running left, cuts it upfield, hit the 25, he could go to the 10, to the 5, touchdown F&M, Keyshawn Farmer, 31 yards. Oh, did the Diplomats need that one? They had some trouble as they got toward the red zone. Keyshawn Farmer says, let's not even bother, let's just take it in from here.
Oh, what a beautiful run. Another great block on the inside. The wide receivers getting some good blocking downfield. That is textbook on all ends, and it works out perfectly for the lateral movement of Keyshawn Farmer.
F&M back in it, 13-6. Drew Tomlinson to attempt the extra point. Donachie puts it down, and Tomlinson boots it through. 46 seconds to go in the first quarter, and F&M has answered back. 13-7 Lycoming. You're watching the Centennial-MAC Challenge Bowl at GoDiplomats.com. F&M with a much-needed scoring drive. Kim and Batkowski back to receive, and F&M showing the possibility, but now they'll boot it deep. Batkowski comes and takes it at the 15-yard. That's Kim, actually. It's out to the 30 to the 36-yard line. Nice speed by John Kim. He wasn't messing around on that return. He's just going to go as fast and as far as he can go.
Yeah, he got down there pretty quickly. I was impressed. Just get the train running, and it's not going to be stopped. He picks up speed pretty quickly, though. Look at this. Just gets tripped up.
That was actually Fimbers, the running back, who returned that one. They will go with Batkowski as the running back. Diminutive, a touchdown guy. Instead, they're going to give it to Zollikoffer on the jet sweep out to the 40. Stutter steps at the 42 and gets out to the 43-yard line. Pickup of 7. Going to be second and a short 3.
I like this play
for Lycoming.
I like this play call. You block everybody over to the right side, and then you switch it over to the left.
Really nice job of blocking by Batkowski, picking up the defensive end coming around. So Lycoming already getting near midfield. 2nd and 2. Batkowski in a tailback. Elijah Shamori, the quarterback. He'll keep this one, and he should have the first down to the 45. And out to about the 47.5-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Lycoming. And just a nice, safe place in Shamori. He's got that running ability, which most college quarterbacks have these days.
Yeah, and it's nothing special, but it will get the job done. And that will do it for the first quarter.
It started pretty well for Lycoming, ended a little bit better for Franklin and Marshall. Second quarter's coming up after this. Lycoming 13, Franklin and Marshall 7. You're watching Franklin and Marshall College Football at GoDiplomats.com. First and 10, Lycoming. 2nd and 7, Lycoming, excuse me. Second quarter underway. That pass complete out on the far side. Going to be very close to first down yardage. Shamori to Nick Costello. A spot a yard short. It'll be 2nd and 1 into F&M territory.
Shy of a first down by 1 yard, 2nd and 1.
Crazy how these two teams, if this was happening in 2017, would not be here at this week of the season.
Yeah, and you and I were talking about this off the air. It's kind of interesting, sort of mirror images how the two teams got in. I'll explain after this play. Batkowski running left side off tackle, dives down to about the 40-yard line. Pickup of 3, and that's more than enough for the first down. They'll move the change. So Lycoming at 4-4 was tied with 4 other teams in the MAC for the 3rd and final MAC Bowl series because of their win over Misericordia. That lofted them over the top. F&M was tied with Ursinus and Susquehanna, and that would have left F&M on the outside looking in. They were the last team in their tiebreaker, but because Muhlenberg got into the NCAAs, all 3 of those, Ursinus, Susquehanna, and F&M, got into the bowl field. Shamori going to run for it, and he's not going to get back to the line of scrimmage as F&M plugged all the holes. Be a loss of a yard on the play. 2nd and 11 coming up.
Good work in coverage as Lewandowski, he picked up a receiver, double-teamed in coverage, and Shamori just didn't have any options to throw it to, so he had to make a run for it. And F&M still doing a nice job on the defensive line.
There's more good work coming from the linebacker level. Gave F&M just an extra body inside. Couldn't block them all. got all the defensive linemen. I didn't see who the linebacker was who came in. Shamori rushed again, and he is going down. Back at the 48-yard line. Bobby McDevitt was in there, along with Joe Granahan, the Centennial Conference's all-time sack leader.
Granahan brought him down, and McDevitt helped him out. Great work from Joe Granahan. Garnet Valley graduate, who they just lost last night, 42-7 against Coatesville, and Coatesville will be headed to the District 16A championship. Garnet Valley finishes the season 12-1. I'm sure Joe Granahan is much aware. That's a great program.
3rd and 17. Shamori sets up in the pocket, throws deep, looking for Costello. What a catch by Costello inside the 15 and down inside the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for Lycoming. What a throw. What a catch. Beautifully done.
Well, this is what the future holds for Lycoming. This is a gorgeous throw down the sideline. It's good coverage, too. You can't get much better than that. And he's right on the tail. Steph Smith was right there.
But against a receiver like Costello, it's not enough to run with him. Then you have to work once the ball gets there.
Yep.
And Costello does a great job. He's a great receiver.
And he's a big body as well. Really nice catch.
No kidding. 6'5", 205. 1st and goal from the 8. Batkowski up the middle. Gets down to about the 6. It'll be 2nd and goal, obviously. And I saw the touchdown numbers for Batkowski. I just assumed that was going to be a big goal line back kind of guy. He's not. You get a good look at him right there. He's not a big dude.
Undersized, yes.
Not the size of the dog in the fight.
No.
Is that what they say?
Well, he is the
size of the fight than dog.
Most rushing attempts on the season, though, 108 for any back. And he's just kind of had those nitty-gritty yards.
2nd and goal from the 5. Shamori in the shotgun. Empty backfield. Looking in the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. John Kim got free in the flat. And Shamori hit him perfectly. 19-7. Lycoming on top. And we'll see. It looks like they're going to send the extra point team out there.
First receiving touchdown of the year for John Kim. What a way for it to happen on the last game of the season. The senior wide receiver out of Haverford gets his first touchdown of the season.
Jamie Fisher for the extra point. Foiled by a bad snap on the last one. That one's better. Kick is up, and it is perfect. 11:09 to go in the first half with Lycoming on top of F&M 20-7. You're watching the Centennial-MAC Bowl Challenge at GoDiplomats.com. (20-7), Lycoming on top of Franklin and Marshall. Lycoming 5-5 and Franklin and Marshall 7-3. But right now these teams looking at least even, and maybe you'd think that the records were reversed if you didn't know any better. Lycoming's offense looking very strong, and Elijah Shamori, he is really impressing. Ball blows off the tee. They'll have to do it again. And we were talking about their great wide receiver, Nick Costello, and Steph Smith really had good coverage. But what's happening is Costello is just outworking the defensive backs for the balls.
Yeah, Costello, we mentioned it's 6'5", over 220 pounds. And
yeah, there's also that.
Yeah,
there's
that. These are small D-backs. These are small D-backs on the F&M side. And, he's just able to physically outmatch them. And along with his wide receiver skills, it's an unfair matchup, and then he's able to take advantage of it. I think Lycoming knows that coming in.
Brendan Deering makes like a center fielder, calls his man off the ball, and gets all the way out beyond the 40-yard line to the 42. 27-yard kick return by Brendan Deering. That's impressive. It'll be 1st and 10 F&M, and we don't get a chance to see him get unleashed that often. This is a really good return.
No, and it's great work from the special teams. They do a nice job blocking, setting up some lanes for him. And this is the second time that we've seen Deering get over the 40-yard line on a nice return.
Deering's been the main guy. Mac Fote back there as a freshman. He's a speed demon. We haven't really gotten a chance to see that speed unleashed very often this year. 1st and 10 F&M. Carry for Joe Hartley Vittoria. He spins away from one tackler, gets out to the 45-yard line. That's about it. Now mark him out to the 41, to the 46. Gain of 3, it'll be 2nd and 7. And F&M, they're not going to abandon the run. And they'll show you that right now.
No, they're very balanced offense. You can see when the run game is working, which it is for Keyshawn Farmer. Joe Hartley Vittoria has been picking up a couple of yards too. They'll go to the ground, but they can also air it out. We see Erisman's got a great arm, and on important downs on that 3rd and 7 back on the second drive, he was able to hit KJ Pretty over the top.
2nd and 7 for the Diplomats. Wearing their all-black uniforms. Erisman stands in the pocket, runs out of room, can't get up the middle, and finally he's going down. Had no room up the gut because big Ahmad Curtis was there. The 300-pounder out of Pleasant Valley brings down Erisman. It'll be 3rd and long.
This is good coverage from Lycoming. They send the linebackers back into coverage, and Erisman, he just tucks the ball into his left hand a little bit too early. Instead of working his way out of the pocket, stays in, tries to find a hole, and the pocket just collapses on him.
Big number 95 there. We don't see many guys like that around the Centennial.
No, we do not.
Not on defense.
No.
Anyway.
Mike Sullivan was not as big, but maybe the only guy able to rival him.
Erisman on 3rd and 10. Nice pocket. Throws over the middle, and it's broken up. Beautiful defensive play by Copeland. A little bit too beautiful. He got there early. Here comes the flag, and it looks like F&M is going to get a 1st down out of this.
Yeah, they will. This is in double coverage, and like you mentioned, Copeland had a really nice play on it, but he just gets in too early on the backside. He's right on his hip, and KJ Pretty was looking for the flag the whole way.
15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic, 1st down.
That was emphatic from the head referee. But I like that. It's clear, it's concise.
Hey, you got to sell your call. You got to do that more in baseball, I suppose. And KJ Pretty creating matchup problems, much like Nick Costello.
That's funny that you mentioned that. I was watching the Ken Byrne documentary after the Sixers game last night, and they were showing old 1920s film with Babe Ruth. And I was chatting with my dad. Yeah, the umpire calls are so funny. They're hilarious. The out calls. It's a full arm swing.
1st and 10. Erisman's going to set up, throw deep, left side looking for Pretty, coming back, could not bring it down, might not have been able to get the feet in bounds anyway. Outstanding coverage by Nasir Bowen. It'll be 2nd and 10. You know what, you can watch some highlights right up to the late 70s and the umpire calls just look different.
Yeah, they're funny, man. I mean, they're just emphatic, they're goofy. Not used to that in today's baseball, but
back when some of the umpires were stars. One of those guys were in the Hall of Fame.
I was about to say, were they the only guy that you really hear about is Joe West. Yeah, and Angel Hernandez, right?
Yeah, Bill Clem is in the Hall of Fame. Ron Luciano got to write a book. I think he might still be around. Give to Keyshawn Farmer, looking for room, and there is none. What a play made defensively. Andre Jackson cut him down. Flag is down.
Flag in the back, number 14, offense.
Tyler Schubert.
Tyler Schubert not very happy about anything going on over there. I don't know if it's a penalty or something one of his teammates did.
Have to give mention to this on the missed pass from KJ Pretty. But Nasir Bone was in coverage. There's been 3 different cornerbacks to cover KJ Pretty. That's got to speak to this secondary and how they have faith, how Steve Weiser has faith in his guys to cover one of the best wide receivers in the Centennial Conference.
Like there was,
After the penalty yardage marked off the ball will be spotted.
looked like there was some disagreement at first as to whether Lycoming was going to accept the penalty. They have. Back to the 48-yard line of F&M. It's 2nd and 20.
Yeah, instead of the 3rd and 11, the 2nd and 20, make them earn those extra yards. We've seen the big playmaking ability F&M has been able to create on the pass.
Harrisman hands off on 2nd down. Farmer reverses field to the 50, inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. That'll make for a much more manageable 3rd down.
Nice work from Farmer to create something out of nothing. It looked like for a moment Ahmad Curtis was going to pounce on him. He's able to spin away from his blocker. Farmer does a nice job to get around the edge, though. And makes it a manageable 3rd down. We're right back to where we started.
Farmer's so quick, he really allows his offensive linemen not to have to stay on their blocks that long. Tim Fink on the right side just got a piece of his defensive lineman, and that was all he needed because then Farmer was gone. Harrisman rolling left. He's got protection in front. He'll run for it. He's not going to get the 1st down yardage. Gets inside the 40.
Was looking for KJ Pretty, who was in double coverage on the sideline, couldn't get away. This is good work from the Lycoming defense. They've done a nice job adjusting as F&M. They've been great on the RPOs. They've done well so far on the ground, 103 rushing yards, but look at the scoreboard, 27. When it's mattered, Lycoming's cracked down.
Harrisman came up well short, 4th and 7. F&M will have to punt. Garrett Pershey, a lot of movement. I assume this is on F&M. If it's on Lycoming, I got to believe F&M puts the offense back on the field.
Yep. I think it may have been early movement on the offensive side.
Offside. Defense.
It's on the knee. That's going to make it 4th and 2. And that's going to completely change the thinking.
Yep. Here comes the offense.
But again, Lycoming, 18 of 20 this year, stopping 4th downs. I don't know what that stat means. It certainly doesn't hurt.
No, it doesn't. They come up big in the clutch. Maybe that? We'll see.
Like I said, doesn't hurt. They'll just send out KJ Pretty. He's the only wide receiver. Everybody else heavy jumbo, but Harrisman in the shotgun. Harrisman rolls right, looking right, throwing for Pretty, and it's incomplete. Went through the hands of KJ Pretty at the 30. Harrisman some mustard on that throw, but KJ Pretty more than used to that. That is a rare drop for KJ. It's not a perfect throw, but one that you expect Pretty to bring in.
This is good blocking. Pretty just has a tough time adjusting to get to the left side. It looks like he lost his footing as he was turning out to the left.
Exactly right. You still expect him to make the catch, but yeah, it looked like he got his feet tangled, which was his own fault.
Yep.
It wasn't with the defensive player. He was open.
That's a great play call, though. I really like F&M going 1v1 on the outside and fake the run.
I don't know that they spotted the ball correctly. They put the ball right where F&M needed to get to find the game.
I think so, too.
They actually gave F&M 2 yards.
Yeah.
Well, while they're at it, give them the 1st down. Now, they're going to have to move this back to the 34-yard line, I believe.
Yeah, and the umpire's pointing there right now. I think they're just conferring with the sideline judge. And the chain gang.
7:12 to go in the second. That's correct. Lycoming gets it back, already leading F&M 20-7. This is going to be a big defensive possession, if you will, for F&M. I know that's a very weird piece of terminology, but we all have come to know what it means. But F&M needs to stop Lycoming on this. They can't give up another touchdown.
Yeah, you go down 20.
Shamori throwing left side, and that's incomplete. Airing it out for Zollikoffer. That was not going to be easy route to hit on.
Zolikov, that was a great throw. Zolikov made the incompletion closer than I anticipated. That was almost in reach.
He also had Lewandowski coming over. Might not have wanted to make that catch. 2nd and 10. Kim and Costello go wide to the left. Zolikov on the right. Shamori in the shotgun. F&M showing blitz. They bring 5. And the handoff, nowhere to go. Granahan and Kilkenny. They stop Fimbers in the backfield. Loss of a yard. It'll be 3rd and 11.
I assume that this statistic must be correct, but Lycoming has minus 35 yards rushing right now. And 117 yards in the air. And we talked a little bit about how Lycoming, their strategy has been, let's get the ball over the top, let's throw the ball deep, let's test the secondary. They've been balanced on the run and the pass, but they've succeeded in the air.
Negative yardage includes sack yardage.
Yes.
Which I've never agreed with, but it is what it is. 3rd and 11. Shamori chased, no time. Big stand by the F&M defensive front. Matt Hamby got in there at the end, but Elijah Shamori was just surrounded from the start of the play. He had Galt rushing from the backside, Kilkenny coming up the middle. It's 4th and 18, and F&M's going to get the ball right back.
And more negative yardage. This is great work. They rush 3, and on the right side, it's just Joe Granahan working his way through 2 blockers. And the senior making his mark.
Granahan did not manage to bring down Shamori, which is rare. Short kick. Fair catch called for and made by Kevin Lammers out to the 47-yard line. Hearts and throats momentarily. Look, Kevin, we're not going to sit here and kill Kevin Lammers for the one mistake earlier in the game. That is the type of player that he is, what we just saw right there. Yeah, that was also not an easy punt to field.
No, it comes off his foot oddly. I mean, it's a weird spin, and you see Lammers come away with it, and the ball just starts slipping a bit down his chest. But great field position for F&M as they start near the 50-yard line.
1st and 10, F&M. 5:40 to go, plenty of time. Hartley Vittoria hesitates, runs up the middle, takes a big hit at the 50, and spins for a couple of extra yards to the 48, pick up of 5. It'll be 2nd down.
F&M doing a good job, as we mentioned, balancing the run and the pass. Farmer actually has 7 rushing attempts. Vittoria now 6. So you can see these 2 guys are going back and forth on the rush, giving this defense a different look. Vittoria, a more downfield, north-south kind of guy, and Farmer, he's just weaved his way in and out of linebackers in this front 4.
2nd and 5, another run play for Hartley Vittoria, and he does a nice job to spin away from the hit of Pinska. Trey Borger in on that as well, but Hartley Vittoria got about 6 yards and a 1st down for F&M.
And you can see the anticipation of the linebackers. You see Hartley Vittoria is in the backfield. Everybody goes up the middle.
Hartley Vittoria does this so well when he's able to spin and then back his way forward.
Yep. Gain an extra yard or 2.
1st and 10. Jimmy, 3rd and 1. Not bad on that one. Harrisman's going to keep this one. He's got to get away from that, and he cannot. What a play defensively is made by Romanowski, showing you that all-conference style. And it'll be 4th down.
Posted 33 tackles this year, and now 13 and a half of which go for losses. And he just breaks off the end, and he's able to bring down Ayersman in the backfield. Nice work.
I'm not sure how Romanowski was able to be so free to Tanner Ayersman once that happened.
I think they figured that they'd be able to fake him out on the fake handoff.
Ayersman's not a big tackle breaker. He's a quarterback, obviously. This does not take much of a roll for F&M. It's going to stop right about the 20.5-yard line. It's 26-yard punt, no return. 1st and 10 for Lycoming. Still 3:35 to go in the 2nd quarter. F&M not able to take advantage of that Big defensive stand made just moments ago by F&M. You don't normally think of a defensive stand deep in the other team's territory.
No, but
it was supposed to be a real momentum swinger for F&M, and it didn't work out.
No,
at least not so far.
Now the 3rd and 1, great work from Lycoming defensively on their end. Romanowski obviously making that big play, but you definitely felt that you get the ball back in your offensive hand. They've motored down the field a couple of times now, and that they could do it again.
Shamori in the shotgun. Batkowski's the tailback. Play action. Shamori looking left, throwing left. He's got John Kim. Kim is hit and spiked into the ground at the 28-yard line. Steph Smith on the coverage and the tackle. It'll be 2nd and about 3.
Stop by Stefan Smith of the Diplomats. Ball spotted at the 29.
Nice out on the near sideline. And again, Lycoming has had success when Shamori's been throwing the ball. They need to keep working there.
I correct myself. That was Zollikoffer on the catch. Thank you for that, Jack. Now Zollikoffer stationed to the right. F&M shows blitz. It's picked up. Shamori's got to run for it. He's got nowhere to go. Right in the middle of the fray. Bobby McDevitt with the tackle.
F&M brings the blitz. Strong coverage. Pocket starts collapsing. Shamori's trying to make his way out, and McDevitt does a nice job to take him down in the backfield, and now F&M can rival another 3-and-out.
2.5 minutes to go, a little less than that now. Both teams, by the way, have all 3 of their timeouts. 3rd and 3. I'll go with 4 wideouts.
See the offensive line here talking, picking up their men.
Double tight ends, no back. Shamori's got some time. Now he's starting to run out of time, and he's sacked by Hamby. Matt Hamby gets him back at the 24-yard line. Great play by the linebacker. Good coverage downfield, and F&M's defense once again holds, and the Diplomats will get the ball back with just a little bit under 2 minutes to play.
Hamby, number 12 on your screen. Watch him as the tight end comes across. He fakes that he's going to go cover. He's got eyes on the quarterback the entire time, and he does a great job coming off of the edge to make that tackle. And now a timeout is called.
Smart play by F&M with 2:03 to go. Diplomats need to preserve some time. They want to put points on the board before the end of the second quarter. Matt Hamby is a guy that actually got a couple of starts earlier in the year, which is very significant against within a linebacking crew that has Dylan Jones, 4-year starter, Bobby McDevitt, 3-year starter, Vinny Speranza, Seb Silva. By the way, Seb Silva, first-team All-Centennial. How do you stand out among that linebacking crew? And Silva managed to do it. Hamby and Silva are going to be returning next year, and there's going to be a lot of focus on those guys with the ones that we mentioned, McDevitt, Jones, and Speranza all graduating.
Yeah, Hamby, another Garnet Valley guy. Steve Elf, I remember a couple of years ago, he graduated. He was a Garnet Valley guy and also a linebacker. So they just kind of keep plugging and chugging. The front 7 for F&M, that's where this recruiting focus is. Fetterman does a really nice job with them. And the linebacking crew this season, I've been very impressed with. We talked about Seb Silva already and just the impact he has had. Obviously, he earned it in the postseason. But Hamby, he's another one, 3rd, 4th guy who's going to make an impact and who's done well.
Kevin Lammers back to receive the punt. Off the foot of Connor Bell. And F&M's showing like it's going to come after this punt. You don't see that very often. Now he will set up a return. They still almost got there. Maybe got a piece of it. Lammers' fair catch called for and made at the 46-yard line. 1:57 to go in the half. That should be plenty of time for F&M. 1st and 10 for the Diplomats at their own 45. And they really mixed it up on this punt block.
Yeah, I like this. You bring the house, try to get a block. They have a couple this season. Stevie G, he's had 2 blocks on punts. And it looks like somebody was close to it. I think that was McDevitt off of the side who came close to getting a hand on it.
1st and 10, F&M. They'll go with 3 wideouts. Hartley, Vittoria, the tailback. Schubert, the tight end left. Now goes in motion to the right. Harrisman in the shotgun. Has time underneath. And he's got a man out of the backfield. That's Walter. And Walter picks up a couple out to the 48-yard line. A gain of just 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. Clock runs, minute 45 to go. F&M will get right back to the line. Everybody checking the wristbands. Harrisman in the shotgun once again, looking upfield. And once again underneath. This time it's Hartley Vittoria, the running back, and he only gets to the 46-yard line of Lycoming. That's going to set up a 3rd and 1. And F&M's going to wait, not use the timeout until at least they know they've got a first down. Harrisman again going to the wristband, as is Hartley Vittoria. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Schubert, the tight end, lined up as a wing. 1:05 to go. Hartley Vittoria has the first down yardage. That'll stop the clock as they get to the Lycoming 42-yard line. And we'll see if F&M uses the timeout. No, they're going to get right back to the line of scrimmage.
I like that.
Ball is marked ready for play.
They actually had a couple seconds tick off the clock there, even though the markers weren't down. 12 seconds.
Harrisman sets up. Now he's going to throw deep. Looking for KJ Pretty. Ball hangs up there a while. Pretty gets tangled up, and nothing is called. I don't think he was going to catch up to that ball, but
The numbers are telling. 230 years ago, 4 signers of the Declaration of Independence founded one college in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Its graduates, more than 40,000 over 2 centuries, would go on to lead in industry, medicine, law, government, and countless other fields. Every year adds more discoveries, more achievements, more accomplished alumni to our great history. So, what did our combined efforts add up to this year? We recreated one building, raised a second, and planned for a third. 98% of the class of 2016 was employed or in graduate school 6 months after graduation. 9 recent graduates earned Fulbrights, and 6 earned other national fellowships and awards. Our 2,217 students put their talents to use in labs, studios, and in the field. 65% did research with a faculty member. 1,100 of them showed the Lancaster community that they know how to serve. And we watched 12 All-Americans and 86 All-Conference Scholar athletes on 7 nationally ranked teams win 4 conference championships and advance to 6 NCAA championships. We discussed more important issues than we can count. The White House honored us as a champion for college opportunity, and we joined with Bloomberg Philanthropies to lead a national initiative to help top colleges recruit talented students from every zip code. Who made all of this happen? Tens of thousands of people who love the place, like nearly 300 faculty, 1,200 volunteers, and 10,000 donors. But in the end, the math only matters so much. You cannot quantify this, or this, or this, or this. You can't count character, or drive, or the will to forge ahead. You can't count grit. But we all have these things, and more. We're athletes, performers, leaders, and creators. We're volunteers, philanthropists, investors, and idea generators. And together, we add up to something extraordinary. Together, we are F&M.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools, for nearly 500,000 student athletes, college sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
Centennial Conference is about balance. We want the students to become the best they can be in the classroom, the best they can be in their athletic pursuits, and our colleges do everything we can to enhance that. You're going to feel the exact same things that you would feel as a Division I or a Division II athlete in the Centennial Conference. You're going to feel the heart racing. Your teammates are going to be cheering you on. You're going to be in that huddle, firing each other up, getting ready for the opening tip or the first kickoff. All of this is what we look for, and we hope that our students get to achieve in the conference. You look at the rivalries in our conference, and these schools have competed against each other for over a century. To be able to turn them over to talented faculty and talented coaches to bring out what we all know is there, that athletic ability, that ability to achieve in the classroom, the ability to achieve in the lab. The community that we build within the Centennial Conference is truly special. We have 11 schools that are competing at everything they do. They're competing for the best faculty, they're competing for the best students, they're putting together the best facilities. There are 43 conferences, and I feel that the Centennial Conference is at the top of Division III.
1, 2, 3,
On
what?
the field of competition, you're going to be a starter, you're going to be a key reserve. You may be an all-conference player, you may be an all-American player. In the classroom, you are going to achieve great things. You could be on the dean's list. You could receive a departmental award. You could receive the college's highest prize when all is said and done. It's the ability to provide that kind of balance to allow a student to achieve in both ends, which makes the Centennial Conference remarkable.
At F&M, the whole culture is engaged on developing students.
excite and authorize each of you to have big dreams.
Not big business. Welcome back to Lancaster, where Lycoming leads Franklin and Marshall 20-14 in this third seed game of the Centennial-MAC Bowl Challenge Series. This is how it started for F&M. They needed this run in the worst way, and Keyshawn Farmer provided the highlight reel for F&M. This is what sailors will call tacking, zigging to the left and zagging to the right. KJ Pretty getting out in front. That helped F&M out in a big way after the very good start to this game for Lycoming. Tanner Arisman pumping and then throwing to the right side. And that was complete to Kevin Lammers. That was a big first down grab for F&M. And then finding KJ Pretty, who took the hit from Pinska. First team All-MAC player, and still Pretty was able to hang on to that one. And then F&M with the important touchdown after they were down 13-0. They handed off to Keyshawn Farmer, and he wasn't messing around getting F&M into short yardage situation. He takes this one all the way from 38 yards out. That got F&M on the board, 13-6, 13-7 after the extra point. And then the F&M defense, they really needed a lift after giving up some big yards, and it was Matt Hamby. The defensive front kept Elijah Shamori in the pocket, and then after he was chased out, Hamby ran him down. And then F&M later in the half, it was Tanner Arisman finding Brendan Deering, who got behind the defense. That got F&M set up very late in the first half as the Diplomats were down 20-7. And then Joe Hartley Vittoria, he might as well just not even bother running forwards. Just turn his whole body around and let him use those heels to dig in as he took a couple of Lycoming players into the end zone. F&M got within 6 at that point, 20-14. Lycoming took a knee, also happy to be up 20-14, but F&M, it was an inauspicious start to the game for the Diplomats, but real gut check time in the second quarter. F&M responded. Let's see if they can continue that in the third quarter, Jack Keffer.
Yeah, there were about 8 minutes left in that second half. Lycoming had the ball on the 35-yard line, and they were up 20-7. And it looked like if Lycoming was going to go down, drive, score a touchdown like their offense had been moving in the previous drives, then this game was going to be a different feel throughout the second half. But the defense came up big twice. They got 3 and outs. They were able to get the ball into the hands of Tanner Arisman, and Arisman made it happen with the help of his running backs. The run game for F&M has been crucial today. 123 rushing yards so far, split between Farmer and Hartley Vittoria. 73 for Farmer and 44 for Vittoria. Both have got 1 touchdown apiece. And then Arisman 8 for 18, 120 yards, and he has that interception. Remember, they were on the 5-yard line, and he threw that interception on third down. And on the other side for Lycoming, it's been the passing game that has been doing the job, as Elijah Shemery, 7 for 9, 159 yards, and he's got 3 touchdowns on the day so far. Those touchdowns have come to 3 different receivers. Nick Costello, 3 receptions, 45 yards. Jacob Fibres, 1 reception for 52 yards. Remember, the running back kind of came out of the backfield, and they were able to dump it off to him in short yardage, and he just picked up a 50-yard gain, able to score on the play. And then John Kim, first touchdown of the season, the senior, able to grab his first touchdown of the year in game number 11. So the passing game for Lycoming has been the big mainstay so far, and they've stuck to that, minus 48 rushing yards on the day with a couple of sacks in between there, and the sacks have come in the form of a lot of different guys. We've seen Joe Granahan get in there from the defensive side for F&M, and also Bobby McDevitt. The linebacker core has been great. The transition, though, for Lycoming, can they keep getting those passes over the top of the secondary for F&M? And for the Diplomats, can they have this offense be a little consistent and keep the scoring up?
Fimbres takes it from the 3-yard line on a pretty good kickoff by Tomlinson. Gets out to the 20 and then brought down at the 24-yard line. Pretty good coverage on special teams for Franklin and Marshall. And I think if you're F&M, you like this right now. You like to have your defense on the field. They really set the tone later in the second quarter with a couple of big stops on Lycoming, and I think that really gives F&M its best chance to start to tilt the field in its favor.
Yeah, the coverage has gotten better, and the penetration really from the front 7 has been outstanding. The linebackers, we talked about them a lot. Hamby was in there, as well as Seb has been fantastic. Seb Muniz So we'll see if they can carry that over from the last couple of drives into the second half here.
Bembris right up the middle. Not much. Gets out to the 27-yard line. Pickup of 2. It'll be 2nd and 8. Some out-of-town scores from the NCAA tournament, NCAA Division III playoffs. Johns Hopkins at home, 35-0 over the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. So the Blue Jays certainly off to a good start. Muhlenberg trails Del Val 13-10. That one at Del Val in the second quarter. Got to be honest, I was a little. I was very much expecting Muhlenberg to come out and have a great performance, and I don't know that they haven't. 2nd and 8, throwing it out for Costello, and it is broken up. Good coverage there. That pass floated a little bit on Costello. It was broken up by Lewandowski. It'll be 3rd and 8. Yeah, I got to admit, I had a little bit of Centennial Conference homerness arrogance, but I think Muhlenberg is really good.
Yeah, they're very talented. And we'll see if they can pull away in that game. You'd say almost the same if you're at the Muhlenberg game, tuning into the F&M game and looking at the score down 20-14. Franklin Marshall was one of the top teams in the Centennial Conference this year. They went head-to-head with everybody in the matchup. Meanwhile, Lycoming at 500, but no short of talent, that's for sure.
3rd and 8. F&M rushes 5, and Shamori is going down. Another sack for the F&M defense. According to our stats, that is the 7th sack of the day of Shamori.
Yeah, and this is great work from Kevin Galt. Help finishing it off, and it looks like the initial was Joe Granahan. So the good
F&M,
defense carries over.
Again, indeed. Kevin Lammer's back to receive. He stands at his own 46-yard line. High spinning kick. Lammers is going to take that one from the 48-yard line and accelerates inside the 40 down to around the 35-yard line. Nice return, Kevin Lammers. Picks up about 17 yards. Be 1st and 10 F&M.
Yeah, first time that Kevin Lammers has been able to return a kick, and we talked about it, first team All-Centennial Conference on special teams returner, and that's why. You thought you had great starting position at the 50-yard line. Well, you got even better starting position at the 32.
By the way, when we get an opportunity, we'll bring you the out-of-town scoreboard from the other MAC Centennial Bowl Challenge Series games. Tanner Arisman in the shotgun. Hands off to Hartley Vittoria. Trying to go through the line one hip at a time. He picks up a yard. That's it. Good job by the defensive front to plug all the holes. It'll be 2nd and 9. By the way, I was watching the offense coming off the sideline, getting ready to go on the field, and Tim Walter, the sophomore receiver, was the first guy out there, and he turned around and looked at his teammates and was pumping the fist and really looked like he was trying to get everybody fired up. F&M coming into this game, and the Diplomats, after they lost to Ursinus 2 weeks ago, knew that their chances of making it to the bowl series were not great. They got the gift when Muhlenberg got in, and F&M really wants to finish strong. Hartley Vittoria right up the middle. Bounces off of a big hit and's got the first down to the 21-yard line. Then he's knocked backward, but forward progress should give Hartley Vittoria first down yardage.
Yeah, because it's a tough game to really get jacked up for. It's not a rival. You don't really know Lycoming, although you have seen them in a scrimmage every single year.
That is correct. I don't know if all of our fans are aware of that F&M and Lycoming have scrimmaged one another for the last several years.
Yeah, but it's just, even in the scrimmage, both teams are working things out. It's more of a, great, how does this look against different defenses that don't know what's coming? So there's not much of a rivalry between these two squads, but look, once you get in the heat of things, you start to play football again. You start to just get that mentality of, we need to win against these guys.
1st and 10, Joe Hartley Vittoria. He's hit hard right about the 20-yard line. Goes sideways after that. It'll be 2nd and 8. Once upon a time, the All-Star game in baseball took on such meaning because there was such a great rivalry between the American and National Leagues. I don't know if any such thing exists between the Centennial and the MAC, two leagues that occupy very much the same geographic footprint. I care about it, but I'm not playing. I don't have shoulder pads on.
Yeah, I think the rivalry, you can definitely put it in question, put it in perspective. Obviously, it's going to get built up over the next couple of years as these bowl games continue.
Arisman pulls that one out of the belly of Hartley Vittoria. Keyshawn KJ Pretty gets knocked down, pass incomplete. Flag comes into the right around where the line of scrimmage is. I don't think this is going to have anything to do with Pretty and the defensive backfield.
That Stankiewicz is signaling that it is an offsides call or a penalty of some sorts against the F&M offensive line. Yeah, they threw the flag for an ineligible receiver, thinking that an offensive lineman got downfield.
It's kind of good teamwork by the officiating crew because one official obviously thought that Jordan Seller was downfield and he is an ineligible receiver, and that means that another receiver had to say, no, I saw that as well, and he was not 3 yards downfield. Now the Lycoming coaching staff wants an explanation. They don't love that overrule of the call, and I don't blame them.
That's the second time that they've done that as well, that the officiating crews come together to wave off a flag.
3rd and 8. Harrisman, pocket collapses, throwing deep, back of the end zone. KJ Pretty, touchdown F&M, and this game is tied 20-20. Franklin and Marshall will take the lead, or could take the lead with the extra point, and KJ Pretty could not be covered in the back of the end zone.
Oh, they go 1v1 and over the top pass. Nice look from Tanner Harrisman, and KJ Pretty just burns his man to the back of the end zone.
Apologize that the camera at the low angle wasn't able to capture that one, but I think you saw it pretty well live. Drew Tomlinson to add the extra point, which he does. F&M is in front, 21-20, 11-18 to go in the 3rd quarter. We got a brand new ball game. You're watching the Centennial-MAC Bowl Challenge at GoDiplomats.com. Ha! 11-18 to go in the 3rd, and F&M has taken its first lead of the game, 21-20 over Lycoming. Short kick, and John Kim is going to watch that one go out of bounds. He had no choice. That'll be a legal procedure against Franklin and Marshall, and Lycoming will take over at its own 40.
Couple of scores coming up for the remaining bowl games. MAC Centennial. Ursinus leads Misericordia 21-7 at the end of the 1st quarter, and Stevenson and Susquehanna are tied 0 apiece early in the 2nd quarter.
I misspoke. I said the 40. The 35 is where Lycoming will have 1st and 10.
First and 10 for the Warriors.
Elijah Shamori in the backfield. He's going to keep this one, and he's going to be sacked. Back to the 31-yard line. Nowhere to go. Vince Cheverdelli came up and brought him down. It'll be 2nd and about 13.
Well, F&M, they bring the numbers. Nice work as Silva gets to the quarterback. And it's just a late blitz. You see all the offensive linemen for Lycoming are occupied blocking, and then the linebacker is able to sneak through.
I gave credit where it wasn't due. Civerdelli was the 3rd guy in there, and he just jumped on the pile. No offense, because he's had a good year. Swing pass is caught by Costello. He's able to stay on his feet out to the 38-yard line. pickup of 6. That'll be 3rd and 7.
Man, and you can see Costello, he's wrapped up right at the first down mark, right at the marker, the 10-yard marker, and he drags Seb Silva a good 3 yards.
Yeah, that could really make a difference. 3rd and 7 is different from 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11. Be a big play for the Lycoming offense as F&M starting to take the momentum. Shamori, F&M rushes 5. Shamori looks back to the left. He'll throw it to a backfield mate. Now to the 40, and it should be first down yardage. Mike Mulvihill, the tight end.
I think he's a yard short.
It looks like they will spot it back at the 44-yard line. Whistle came a while later.
Well, this is a good decision to dump it in the backfield as everybody downfield was covered. And it looks like he just stepped out of bounds a yard shy of the first down, facing some pressure. And it looks like Lycoming is going to go for it and leave the offense on the field.
That's gutsy.
It is. Especially with the time left on the clock. But, like you said, the momentum is with the Diplomats. And if they can get this first down, that'll change pretty quickly. On the flip side, if F&M stops them on a 4th and 1, well, the way the offense is moving here in the first half, officials now, I think, are talking about the spot.
Well, somebody either saw him step out of bounds at the 44-yard line.
Personal foul.
Oh!
Targeting. Number 20.
Wow.
Defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down. By rule, number 23 is disqualified for the remainder of the contest.
That is a big penalty. Marlon Fenstermacher has been ejected from this game. 15-yard personal foul penalty for targeting the head of Mulvihill. And I got to see this.
Yeah, same here. Going to come at the right side of your screen late. What?
What are they talking about?
That cannot be that cannot be the hit, can it?
Underneath. And incomplete, looking for Costello. Shamori. And right now the fans are all screaming that there should have been a holding penalty. I was still looking at the replay. Perhaps you were as well. I think the officiating crew completely blew it there. If anything, Mulvihill is lowering his head, and Fenstermacher is just going low, trying to cut him down.
Here's a new look. Let's see if if there's anything. There's 23. Fenstermacher on the far side of the screen. What?
No,
that is
terrible.
terrible.
That call doesn't have a leg to stand on. That handoff to Batkowski inside the 35 down to about the 32-yard line on 2nd and 10. Good run by Batkowski. That'll make it 3rd and a yard and a half. And we can't sit here and lament and harp on this forever, but I am glad that Marlon Fenstermacher is a junior and not a senior, because there is no way that anybody's career ought to end on that. Shamori gets the first down, needed to cross the 30, which he did before he was tackled from behind by Seb Silva. It was a bad call.
I'm incredibly impressed at how Marlon Fenstermacher is. He's not enraged on the sideline. He's very calm. He's very poised. He's saying, all right, team, let's go. Like, it's just a bump in the road. That's incredible, because that is a disgrace of a call.
Even Mike Mulvihill probably right now is over there saying, yeah, if you say so. I don't think he felt targeted. 1st and 10. Batkowski right up the middle to the 20. Stumbled, tripped over the 20-yard line. Oh, he is upset with himself, and he should be.
Yep.
1st and 10 for Lycoming. Nice run by Batkowski. Really good work up front by the offensive line of Lycoming, which hasn't really happened very much in the last 15 minutes or so of football.
No, it's been all the defensive line for F&M that's been able to work the holes, work the seams. Nice job on the run game. That's really the first big run that we have seen from this Lycoming team.
Shamori in the shotgun. 1st and 10 Lycoming. F&M brings rushers from the edge. Batkowski to the inside. He's cut down as he gets to about the 10-yard line. Picked up 8. It'll be 2nd and 2. Nice drive for Lycoming with some assistance, but they're doing a pretty good job of it themselves.
Yeah, there's always going to be the asterisk on the end of this drive, but regardless, this offense has moved since that penalty, and they've shown a lot of different looks on offense. Now, Shamori under center.
Under center on 2nd and short. And off Batkowski. He's hit right at the line of scrimmage. He's able to get another yard down to the 9. It'll be 3rd and 2.
We didn't see Batkowski really in that first half at all. He didn't get many of the handoffs. And right now, he's integral in this drive.
Luke Strauss made the first hit. And F&M changing up personnel on 3rd and 2. From the 9, timeout taken by Lycoming. And a very acrobatic timeout as well made by the Lycoming coaching staff. Head coach is Mike Clark. 6:53 to go in the 3rd. F&M 21, Lycoming 20. You're watching Franklin and Marshall College football at GoDiplomats.com. Third down.
Oh, my.
And to the big man in the backfield. Look at this. Down to the 6-yard line. Oh, how do you like that call? Giving it to big Ahmad Curtis. And the Lycoming fans on the far side of the field love it, and I don't blame them. 1st and goal, Lycoming. The refrigerator.
Yep, bring him in. Oh, my goodness. He is towering over. That's the best part is he gets stopped. He gets stopped. He's got nowhere to go, and he goes,
nimble.
Wait a second. I'll just go over here. Can't stop me anyways. Oh, he's back there again.
1st and goal from the 6, and they give it to Curtis again because why not? And this time, he's piled up at the 5-yard line. Jack, I was 12 years old when the Chicago Bears and New England Patriots met in Super Bowl 20. And it wasn't until years later that I learned what was wrong with giving the ball to the refrigerator, William Perry, to score the touchdown. It wasn't until much later that I understood that Walter Payton got cheated out of a very well-deserved Super Bowl touchdown. One of the most wonderful players in NFL history. But at the time, it was really fun to watch. But that was just good strategy right there. 2nd and goal from the 5. This time, Batkowski, a little more traditional running back, gets inside the 5 down to the 4. And it's going to be 3rd and goal.
Those are the first carries of Ahmad Curtis's career. And, of course, last game of the season, you're a senior. We'll give you the run. We'll give you the ball. Why not?
His hometown, by the way, Effort, Pennsylvania.
Oh, man, that could... Jeez.
I don't know exactly what that means regarding that play, but it means something. 3rd and goal. 4 wideouts, tight end to the right. Shamori in the shotgun. Some movement. And they might say that F&M jumped first. Nope. It'll be a false start on Lycoming. And at least one Lycoming offensive lineman is furious, and I think I understand because F&M charging, and if somebody breached into the neutral zone, and that penalty should have been on F&M. However,
this
right
might
now, I think the Diplomats may be owed one by the officials.
Yes, I think so.
It doesn't work that way.
This might be more beneficial and play into Lycoming's hands. You got a little bit more room in the end zone to pass, and that is where they have excelled throughout this game. And they do go with the spread.
Less than 5 minutes to go in the third. F&M up by a point on 3rd and goal from the 9 after that penalty. F&M blitzes. Shamori throwing out into the flat. Caught. Kim down to the 1 yard line. It'll be 4th and goal from the 1. What a moment.
Oh, and he barely got this pass off. Oh, takes a crunching hit.
And a perfect throw. And a perfect route run by Kim.
Yeah. Are they going to bring in the bus?
Indeed they
Yes!
will.
Here we go.
I'm looking back right now at the reporter that's come down from the northern part of Pennsylvania to cover Lycoming.
It's not going to matter.
How psyched would he be? I don't understand this. You have a great field goal kicker, and you're going for the lead, but I don't think the game is going to be decided right now.
No.
Could be a fake. Here comes the flag. And it's probably going to be a delay of game on Lycoming. And Jack, here's this is an analytical thing. This is not about the machismo. If you got to go for it, it's not that. I don't understand kicking a field goal on 4th and goal from the 1 yard line.
No.
When you start any drive, your goal is to score a touchdown.
Yeah.
And if I told you, well, I'll give you the ball right now at the 1 yard line, you have one play. You're going to take that?
Yeah.
You'll take that every time.
Yeah.
What more do you want to score a touchdown? Curtis is 8 of 10 this year and it's blocked. First field goal attempt that has been blocked all year against Lycoming, and the Diplomats have come up with it. F&M will take over 1st and 10. F&M on top, 21-20.
Wow. That's why you go for it on 4th and 1.
See, I don't even think that's why you go for it on 4th and 1.
I think that's why you go because of this. Look. Low kick right into the bodies. Great work from this defense who have really changed the tune of this game and their play here in the second half.
Couldn't quite see who got a hand on it, but everybody right now is congratulating Dylan Jones, the 4-year starter. I assume that means that he's the one that got the hand on it. 1st and 10 F&M. They'll have it at their 13-yard line, which is where the ball was recovered. Keyshawn Farmer, play action. Arisman, low throw, dug out by Lammers, out to the 20. Gain of 7. It'll be 2nd and 3. Yeah, it really is to me. It's just, you want touchdowns. I mean, yeah, a field goal does give you the lead, but you're not going for the lead with 4 minutes to go and 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. You're trying to maximize points. This game's not going to be won 23-21. Maybe it will, but you can't really expect that. So I don't agree with the call.
I'm with you, Phil.
Harrisman on 2nd down. This time he does hand off to Keyshawn Farmer, makes the first man miss. Then he brings the shoulder, takes on a tackler, and gets a 1st down because of it, out to the 25-yard line. Gain of 5.
Good hard yards here from Farmer. Welcomes the contact, too. And that'll move the chains.
And we've noticed that about Keyshawn all season, that as diminutive as he is not a huge guy, and he's not tall and he's not wide, but he is not afraid of contact.
Nope.
He's good at it, too.
Yeah.
He
knows how to take it.
1st and 10 F&M. Give is to Keyshawn Farmer. Out to the 23-yard line. Tanner Arisman held that ball as long as he could before finally realizing that the right play was the run, not the pass.
Yeah, and again, we talk about it a lot this season, the RPOs. Arisman is so good at that, and it's one of the reasons why this F&M offense is so deceptive to this defense, because plays like that where Arisman could have easily just pulled that ball back and gone with the pass, but he read the defense well. He saw the options develop already, and he just went with the hard 4 on the ground.
2nd and 6, the F&M 29. Give it to Keyshawn Farmer again. The hole closed, bounces it to the outside to the 31-yard line. 2-yard run before he's shoved out of bounds. It'll be 3rd and 4, excuse me. And Keyshawn Farmer, only 2 yards on that, but he made the right read. He's got good vision.
Yeah, and he's so quick with his decisions, too. He knows that the hole is closing, and it's just a stutter step to the outside. It's almost like a hop. And he's able to get around the blockers. Lycoming fans on the other end of the field trying to get loud for this defense on the 3rd down.
Farmer up the middle. And it looks like he's going to be at about half a yard short. If that's the case, boy, it's very, very, very close.
Yeah, and this is going to be a tough decision.
See, I got to believe
I don't
if
think
he is
you go.
short, and I don't think he got it.
I don't think you go for it. Yep, he's short.
Wow. This is very, very close. They're going to measure this one. I think it's a very favorable spot for F&M.
So do I.
Right on top of that. It looked like he was about half a yard shorter than they have actually spotted the football. If he's short, I think you have to punt because you have to trust your defense. Your defense has been very good since the middle of the 2nd quarter. That last drive notwithstanding, and even then, the defense did its job when it had to.
Yeah, you need to flip the field as well. Can't give the ball up to Lycoming in this zone. And
on the far side of the field right now, Mike Clark, the head coach of Lycoming, he is really demonstrative about this spot. It may or may not be a 1st down. Either way, if I'm a Lycoming fan, I don't think this is a very good spot.
No, I agree. Let's see what they got. 1st down.
1st down F&M.
Wow. I don't think that was close, but look, what goes around comes around with the Marlon Fenstermacher ejection of the, that was a given, and this was another give from the officials. I disagree with that spot.
Diplomats will take it. It wasn't egregious. We're not down there on the field of play. Officials certainly might have a better look than we do. Arisman in the shotgun. 1st and 10 F&M. Give us to Keyshawn Farmer. Staying with the run. He stumbled at the line of scrimmage. Was able to hop forward out to about the 38-yard line. Pick up close to 3 yards. We'll call it 2nd and 7.
F&M just able to grind away on the ground. Take off time on the clock. Possession. Gives the defense a break as well. Keyshawn Farmer, I think he only came in on like the 3rd or 4th offensive drive, and since he's been the go-to back.
4 down linemen for Lycoming. They'll just rush those 4. Arisman out into the flat. That's caught. A little shake and bake.
Oh.
KJ Pretty, he's got the 1st down. And then wrestling his way out to about the 47-yard line. Finally goes down. There is no flag. Good no call. It'll be 1st and 10 F&M. KJ Pretty out in space.
Putting on the pretty moves. Look at this. Shake and bake.
And then the bear hug from Copeland to wrestle him out of bounds. And KJ Pretty wasn't going down or going out very easily.
No.
You don't usually think of him as the hard yard kind of guy, and it's not because he can't do it. Somebody's got to catch him first.
So tough to bring down. We talked about it. He didn't really have the big stats this season, but he was still a force.
Right up the middle. No gain. Nicely read by the Lycoming defensive front.
Yeah, great adjustment here by the bus.
Trey Smith, the linebacker, jumped into the A gap.
Curtis got an arm on him, was able to wrap him up a bit.
Double tight end set as Greg Kolaros comes in. He'll line up on the left. 2 wide receivers to the left. Joe Hartley Vittoria sets up to the left. And naturally runs to the left. Crosses the 50. Pick of about 3. Going to be 3rd and 7. But that's going to come in the 4th quarter. Final seconds have ticked off quarter number 3. 15 minutes of football left in the season. F&M 21, Lycoming 20. 4th quarter's coming up. You're watching Franklin and Marshall College football at GoDiplomats.com. The final quarter of football for Franklin and Marshall and Lycoming this season. 21-20, F&M up by a point. This has turned out to be a pretty interesting game. Phil Soto-Ortiz, Jack Keffer bringing you all the play-by-play. Once again, yeah, it's been fun. Harrisman in the shotgun on 3rd and 7. Looks right, wants KJ Pretty on the slant and out, and Pretty cannot make the catch. Might have mistimed his jump just a hair. Karan Williams with the coverage. It was pretty good. And I think KJ Pretty, just by a split second, went up. Nice pump fake by Harrisman. I don't know. He just couldn't bring it in.
Yeah, he couldn't bring it in. That's a really tough catch over the shoulder like that.
Yeah, you got to go up, take it over the shoulder, and make a breadbasket kind of catch.
Mm-hmm.
High snap. Percy did a great job. He'll get off a short kick, but F&M is going to hope for the roll, which the Diplomats get. Only to the 22-yard line. But they'll take it. 27 yards, no return. It'll be Lycoming football. 17 seconds into quarter number 4. 21-20 F&M over the Lycoming Warriors. Jack, F&M's defense has really turned things on since about the middle of the second quarter, but they're going to be tested again.
Yeah, they're going to have to come up big. I mean, that last drive where Fenstermacher was whistled on the penalty, that was really the first drive that F&M had let this Lycoming offense march down the field like that, and they did it on the ground, which was surprising to see.
Zalakoffer on the jet sweep. Nowhere to go. Loss of 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 12. Another big tackle for Matt Hamby. He's having himself a game.
Yeah, Hamby's done very well at the linebacker position. He's done a nice job of those late reads on the run into the backfield. Last drive for Lycoming, 50 yards. It was their longest drive in 3 possessions.
Delayed blitz, out of the backfield, Fimbris, and he's got some room to the 35, to the 40, and then finally shoved from behind by Dylan Jones all the way out at the 46-yard line. A gain of 26, 1st and 10 for Lycoming.
Well, the same play Lycoming ran in the first half, it resulted in a touchdown. This time, it results in another big gain. And you see F&M, they bring the blitz, and they just dump it out over the middle, right where the linebacker cores it was located a couple of seconds beforehand.
Yeah, that was a good memory by you, Jack. That play in the first quarter just was to the right, not to the left. But other than that, yeah, basically the same play. Play action, Shamori in the pocket, throws deep over the middle, and it's intercepted. Oh, Matt Hamby, what a play he had just 2 plays ago. Had a chance to take the ball away, couldn't do it.
It's kind of like when your friend calls your name and you turn your head around and the football's about an inch from your face. That's exactly what happened to Matt Hamby. He just couldn't hang on, but he almost did.
Oh, that one hurts. Just an incomplete pass, however, 2nd and 10. Empty backfield. 4 wide receivers and a tight end. Shamori in the shotgun. Pump fakes left, sets up in the pocket. Now he's chased, trying to get rid of it, and he finally goes down. Matt Hamby. He's everywhere. There is a guy on the field right now that just seems to want this game more than anybody else. I think it's Matt Hamby.
Yeah, I mean, look, you almost come up with the interception, and look at his read here. He's just staying, he's patient, he's waiting, and then he goes after the quarterback. Hamby is doing everything right now for F&M.
And the center, Brad Stubbs, was out there ready to pick him up. He's a first-team All-MAC player.
Yeah.
Hamby just read that before Stubbs did.
Yeah, the captain of this squad.
3rd and 15 after that sack. Boy, Shamori has been under pressure today. He throws the deep out. Nobody home. Incomplete. Looking for Zollicoffer. Covered pretty well by Thomas Downs. Costello was underneath. We haven't said Costello's name in quite some time. 4th and 15, and Lycoming sends out the punt team.
Well, it's just the one passing play results in the big gain for Lycoming. And then, like you mentioned, just a lot of pressure from this front 7 of F&M. Lycoming really unable to find the passing game.
Connor Bell the punt. Kevin Lammers back at the 25-yard line. Big rush by F&M. Bell, this is a beauty. And Lammers just going to let that one go, but I don't think it's going to get to the end zone. Lycoming's got to hustle.
Oh.
Keep it in the field of play. It is a long touchback. That's a 59-yard punt. It'll be a 39-yard net, or are they going to say that he got it and kept it in the field?
They are going to say that he got it.
What a special teams play by Lycoming.
And John Troxel is not happy. He wants to talk to the official.
We're going to get a look at this one. I don't think this is a good spot for Lammers to do that, although maybe it was the right play.
Touched. Oh, it's really close. You have to swat that ball back towards the field. You can't bring it with you. That's awfully close.
It's a gutsy call by the official. Oh, John Troxel is furious. It's unusual to see that called like that.
But
I'm okay with it, but you don't usually see that.
You got to give credit, though, to the special teams from Lycoming. What a punt.
58 yards, no return. And timeout taken by F&M because I don't think the Diplomats are really ready offensively. Still concerned about the punt. 12:24 to go in the 4th. F&M 21, Lycoming 20. Don't go away. This is the Centennial-MAC Bowl Challenge. Back to the Centennial-MAC Bowl challenge. Got some out-of-town scores. Ursinus over Misericordia, 42-14. Susquehanna and Stevenson tied at 7. Well, there's always an outlier, isn't it? Tanner Arisman in his own end zone. F&M can't commit a penalty. Arisman's throwing deep, looking for KJ Pretty, adjusting. There was some contact. Nothing is called. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 1. And it looked like Pretty, as he tried to make his move on the ball, got grabbed a little bit.
I think so, too. I think KJ didn't really know where this ball was going to land as well. It was a really tough read for the wide receiver. Oh, he did get shoved in the back. You're right. He did. It was a tough angle from where our broadcast booth is positioned because that's where the sideline is. That's where the bench is. But that's a good angle of that play. Nonetheless, 2nd and 10 from the 0-yard line if it even exists.
Harrisman's going to throw. Deering, nice catch at the 4-yard line. He gets hit right there. That at least gives F&M a little bit of breathing room, but it'll bring up 3rd and 7. Out-of-town scores from the NCAA Division III playoffs. First round, Johns Hopkins at halftime just destroying MIT 42-0. Just about to begin the 4th quarter at Del Val and Muhlenberg and Del Val. The Aggies tied at 13. You had asked me which of those games is going to be the blowout. I think I was expecting the other one.
Yep.
To be fair, I haven't gotten a good look at Del Val this year. They were ranked to start the year. Lost a pretty lopsided game early on to Wesley, a team that ended up 6-4.
And Lycoming kept it pretty close against Del Val, 26-13 loss.
Harrisman on the slat finds his receiver out at the 14-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 F&M, and it's Mac Fote with the catch. His first reception of the day, and it's a big one. 1st and 10 for F&M. They badly needed to move the chains, and they did.
Lycoming is dropped back into coverage, and they're almost too deep. Look at where the safety and Karan Williams is. He was way back there, and there wasn't any pressure on the wide receivers coming off the line of scrimmage.
First and 10 F&M. 11 minutes to go in this one. Handoff Joe Hartley-Vittoria. He'll cut it inside and then explodes as he crosses the 15 out to the 17-yard line. Pickup of just 3. But that initial lunge is what helped him get the extra couple of yards. It'll be 2nd and 7.
17-yard line of scrimmage. Gain of 3 seconds.
Rushing game today for F&M has really been the carrier of this offense. 160 yards on the ground, 91 for Farmer, 63 for Hartley-Vittoria, and they've basically split the snaps evenly.
Lycoming almost jumped. Schubert, tight end left. Arisman looking over the middle, and that pass is knocked down. Ahmad Curtis got in the face of Tanner Arisman. I think that's who got the hand on the ball. It'll be 3rd and 7.
Big stop for this defense. Here's Curtis. Oh, he made his way right in the hole of this offensive line. And you can bet your dollar that Tanner Arisman does not want to have the ball when Curtis comes hunting. 6'1", 300 pounds, and he can move.
Yeah, we've seen that. Would have made so much better story for the newspaper reporter if he had scored earlier. Arisman under pressure, throws over the middle, caught by Pretty, makes a move at the 30, cannot get away, but he does get out to the 39-yard line. Tackle is made by Copeland. 22-yard pickup for KJ Pretty, 1st and 10 F&M.
This is a great catch from KJ. You can see it almost like he just snags it out of midair, and Copeland, that's a good tackle.
If Pretty doesn't have to jump to make that catch and can catch it in stride, I wonder if Copeland catches him. First and 10 F&M at the 38. Arisman in the shotgun. 3 wide outs. Keyshawn Farmer takes the handoff, cuts it up the middle to the 40, to the 45. Still on his feet. Turns around, makes like Joe Hartley-Vittoria, digging in the heels. Beyond the 50 to the 48-yard line. 14 yards and a flag all the way in the backfield. It came in very late.
Very late. This is great work from Farmer. Just stuck his head down and kept going.
Looks like this is going to come back.
Brandon Lowe.
I don't remember the last time I saw unnecessary roughness called on a center. All right, well, he's just sitting there. There's the rugby scrum. And pushing, and pushing.
And plays dead. Okay.
I hate to berate the officials from up here. Their job is harder than mine. But I don't think they've had the best day.
No.
Hand off to Farmer. Running to the left.
Uh-oh.
He's going to be chased back to the right. He's got a long way to go not to lose yards. He's going to lose a lot of yards all the way back to the 28-yard line. Loss of 9. It'll be 2nd and 19.
I mean, that is... There are 3 calls that have just changed the course of this game, or could have changed the course of this game, presented opportunity. The Fenstermacher, the spot for the first down, and then the unnecessary roughness on the rugby scrum. Hey, both teams so far have seemed to overcome it.
2nd and 19. 4 wideouts. Schubert is one of them. The comeback route, and it's going nowhere.
Good coverage.
That loses 3 more on the completion. Tim Walter had the catch. That's a loss of 3. 3rd and 25.
That's really nice coverage from DJ Boyd. He was all over that. Boyd was just... He sniffed that play out as they tried to set up a screen and a couple of blockers in front.
Third and 25. 4 wideouts. Hartley Vittoria, the tailback. Lycoming sends a couple of safeties very deep to just play center field. Arisman is going to try to run, and it is not going to happen. He's sacked back at the 21-yard line. Loss of 4 more. So on 4th and 29.
I'd say a punt.
Yeah, that seems like the best idea.
Isn't there is a famous 4th and 29, isn't there, though? I think it's Eagles.
I think you're right. A few years ago. Of course it's the Eagles.
Of course,
Jack, otherwise how would you remember it?
I'll have to ask Mickey.
Sam Romanowski came up with the sack. He's quietly had a very good game. Very good year.
Yeah, the captain on the defensive side.
Fair catch called for and made. John Kane sliding down. Lycoming will have it. 1st and 10 at the F&M 44. Getting late. 6:41 to go in the 4th. You talked about F&M wanting a flip field position, and right now Diplomats wishing they could have it. Right now it all seems to have started with that punt by Connor Bell that was down at the 1-yard line.
Oh, man.
Now field position all with Lycoming.
Yeah, and it's completely changed the nature of this game. It's been played between this 50-yard line and the end zone to the left.
Play action. And now they'll go to Zalikofer, and he dropped it. And he had room.
And granted,
that is a tough drop. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Granted, a late flag popped in. I'm not sure who this is going against.
It's
going to be a hold.
Either roughing the passer or holding.
It's going to be a hold on Lycoming.
Now that makes it a little less painful for Zalikofer personally. Not helpful for Lycoming. Remember, Lycoming has a very good field goal kicker in Jamie Fisher.
Yep.
Did have a field goal blocked earlier this game. Technically had an extra point blocked, although really it was a bad snap. He kicked a ball that was essentially lying on the ground. But he's had a great year. Came into this game 25 of 27 on point after touchdown kicks. 8 of 10 on field goals, including 2 from beyond 40, long of 44. First team All-MAC, obviously. 1st and 20. Shamori to run. Now to throw. John Kim can't make the catch at the 41-yard line. It was a high throw, probably one that Kim should have had. That would have picked up about 15 yards. It'll be 2nd and 20.
Yeah, Hamby was covering Kim, and as soon as he sees Shamori leave the pocket, he goes after him, and that freed up Kim.
Seen a few drops today from both teams. Shamori's got a bright future ahead of him.
Oh man, he does. You and I talked about it at halftime. He's looked great. He's a good quarterback. He knows what he's doing with the ball. He's confident back there.
F&M sends 5, and he's hit as he throws, threw it out of bounds. Luke Strauss came off the edge and just buried Shamori in the back. That's going to bring up 3rd and 20. The F&M and these blitzes.
Yeah, right up the corner blitz. Oh, that's a good hit. That's a great play call. You're lined up with the tight end on the right side, and right before the snap, you get a little shuffle step in towards the line of scrimmage.
Now they sent both Strauss and McDevitt.
Yeah, so you
tight
get
end
2.
can only pick up 1, and he probably picked up the right guy, because if Bobby McDevitt gets that shot at the quarterback, whew. 3rd and 20. It's being a bright future. Strauss also a freshman. Over the middle. Caught. Costello gets down to the 40-yard line. Picked up 14 yards. 4th and 6 coming up for Lycoming. They'll go for this. 6:11 to go. Still plenty of time. Lycoming could conceive of punting this ball away, but I don't see any sign of that.
No, you got to go for it at this point. You know, still a lot of time left on the clock, but with
frankly, right now, I think there's no wrong decision. You could go either way.
Yes, exactly. With the way that the defense has played for Lycoming within the past couple of series, you can sleep well with this play call.
4th and 6. They go with 3 wideouts. Need to get to the 34-yard line.
Here's the blitz.
Here comes the blitz. The quick throw, and it's incomplete. Shoestring catch would have had to be made, and John Kim could not hang on to it. F&M will take over on downs. 1st and 10 at the Diplomat 40-yard line. And that's just a low throw. If he puts it on the money, John Kim, not only does he make the catch, but he waltzes into the end zone. Was that Costello over there?
Costello.
It was Costello.
Yeah,
you throw low on Costello. He's got a long way to go down to get it. He's 6'5".
He's a big man, and it got off of his fingertips. He knew he had a lot of green ahead of him. So it's tempting to try to catch that one in stride. But
I don't think it's that. I just think he couldn't quite get down.
Yep.
Would not have been an easy catch. Shamori's been good today. And that throw, he didn't do his receiver a favor. 1st and 10 F&M. Still 5:36 to go. And F&M, Harrisman's going to keep it. Throws it over the middle. Caught. KJ Pretty. He's got the 1st down yardage into Lycoming territory at the 44. Picked up 16. 1st and 10 F&M.
Short coverage here from Lycoming. And Tanner Harrisman just zips this pass in.
Yeah, in traffic, too. Threaded the needle.
Six receptions now for Pretty.
Two wide receivers to the right. Double tight end set. Hartley Vittoria gets 2 before he's hit and hit hard. It'll be 2nd and 8, and the clock will run.
Yeah,
4:49 remaining.
You wonder when these timeouts are going to start being used. I think F&M will just keep it on the ground. Just take time off that clock. They were able to do that a little bit in the 3rd quarter, too. Keep giving your defense a rest. The defense has flipped a switch, haven't they?
I got to agree with that. Lycoming scoreless in the 2nd half. 2nd and 9. Harrisman's going to throw. Out into the flat, caught. KJ Pretty can't keep it in bounds, although he was hit in bounds, and they're going to keep the clock running. Inside the 40 to the 39, gain of 4. It'll be 3rd and 5.
Steve Weiser's done a nice job with this defense for Lycoming, too. I mean, Other than the opening drive where F&M, right after halftime where F&M scored that touchdown, the Warriors have been able to make some good adjustments against this F&M offense. Weiser, he's been coaching there forever. They call him the Wizard. He was here for the 2 trips that Lycoming took to the national championship, and he's had some historic defenses down the stretch. 45 years as the defense coordinator.
That's incredible. 3rd and 5, and it's through the hands of the intended target, Joe Hartley Vittoria. Ball's going to go back to Lycoming. It's 4th and 5. 3:27 to go. Actually, I suppose we don't know that. F&M at the Lycoming 39. And they are going to send out Garrett Hershey and the punt team. I have to mention some other notes about the Lycoming coaching staff. A couple of former diplomats on the staff. Sammy Kagaz, who transferred into F&M from the University of New Haven in 2010, played 3 years as a starting offensive lineman, and Mark Surma, who was the captain in 2010 when F&M went 6-5.
I'm sure they'd like to play in this stadium.
High, short kick, and John Kim making the fake fair catch. It's going to take, now it's taking a Lycoming roll, and F&M's letting it go. It's not going very far anyway. It's at the 17-yard line. 3:16 to go. That was a couple of good years for F&M there. 2009 was really the breakthrough for F&M when they went 8-2. Got to the ECAC South Bowl, knocked off Wilkes to finish 9-2. That was the first year that John Troxel was named Coach of the Year. Surma was part of that team. It was the next year that Sammy Kagaz joined, and F&M 6-4 in the regular season, but got to another bowl game, lost to Washington and Jefferson. One down year in 11 when F&M went 3-7, and that was the last losing season that F&M had.
You thought I had a good memory on that one play. That's 10 years ago.
1st and 10 for Lycoming. Shamori rolls out and hits Costello at the 25-yard line. Gain of 8. It'll be 2nd and 2. Clock stops with 3:10 to play. Lycoming should have time. Remember, that field goal kicker is a weapon, and for F&M it could be a deadly one. Not an easy day to kick. Wind is pretty strong.
Yeah, and it's kept up the whole game. You can see at the top of the field goal, those flags are waving lightly, and a little bit further down near the Barnstormers Stadium, the American flag is going pretty heavily.
2nd and 2 for Lycoming. 2:45 to go. Give up the middle. And that should be enough for the first down. That stops the clock with 2:41 to go. It'll start again when the ball is marked ready for play. Yeah, those are my first couple years on the mic here at F&M. So I do have pretty good memory of that. After that, it gets a little murky in the middle.
Locked up in the mud.
And then certainly these last 2 years have been extremely memorable. 1st and 10 for the Warriors. 2:20 to go. Shamori, quick step, and out to Costello. And they are going to feed the big dog. Out to the 31-yard line. That's a gain of just 2 yards, and the clock is going to run. Costello might have been better off just dropping that ball, although you never know that in the heat of battle. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Yeah, you think that the connection is just going to go past to Costello. Let's get it to our guy. Have him make the plays. He is the playmaker.
Yeah, but he's going to have a lot of company.
Seb Silva lining up with him.
Christian Minot lines up in the slot. He does not have a catch yet today. Shamori going to throw it deep over the middle, looking for Minot, and he's got him at the 45-yard line of F&M and down to the 30 of the Diplomats. On cue, Christian Minot. 1st and 10 for Lycoming. A big gain. 39 yards from Shamori to Minot.
And close to field goal territory as well. That is a beautiful play, and we've seen this late in games. F&M has given up that deep pass against Susquehanna. The Riverhawks were unable to complete it, but it's been there.
Swing pass, and Minot could be a double pass. He's going back for Shamori, and Shamori makes the catch at the 20, inside the 15, and out of bounds at the 12-yard line. What a gutsy call there. 1:09 to go, and Christian Minot, first of the big reception of 39 yards, and then we haven't seen any hint that Lycoming had anything like this in its bag of tricks, and Shamori was wide open. Good blocking down the field as well.
I love the play call. These are the kind of plays that you prep for with the bowl game. Let's put a couple of trick ones in there, and it works.
1:09 to go, well within Jamie Fisher's field goal range. He doesn't miss many. He's already had one block today. Right now, that's the difference in the game. That and a blocked extra point. Handoff up the middle. Matkowski to the 10. And the clock continues to run. Does F&M start to use its timeouts? It was Fimbris on the carry.
You know, it's been 3 years since Tyler Jenny graduated from Lycoming, who was a 4-year starter at quarterback. And they think they finally found the guy in Eliza Shimori. And the way that he's performed on this drive and led as a freshman.
Fimbris up the middle. Gets to the 5.
F&M.
29 seconds remaining, and F&M's not going to use those timeouts. They're going to hope to block this kick.
Or freeze the kicker. There's the timeout.
Down to 18 seconds.
And doesn't this feel familiar, Phil, from 2 weeks ago against Ursinus?
No question about that. That was a tough final home game of the regular season. And F&M hoping history's not about to repeat itself just 2 weeks later.
Bears marched down the field, able to get a field goal, and F&M was able to receive a kickoff.
And even that big 39-yard completion to Minot kind of reminds you of the one to Cardozo 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
That set up the game-winning field goal.
Yeah, and you know, even in the first offensive drive from Lycoming, it was the pass over the top that really killed this Diplomats defense. And now they've got to come up with another blocked field goal if they want to win this game. Still, the Warriors have plenty of time. 2 timeouts as well, which they can burn. So you think that they're going to be able to run, and they can pick up a first down. This is a big third down, as this will decide if there is going to be a kickoff, if there is a made field goal attempt, or if Lycoming can take the clock down and go for a last-second field goal.
Almost a little bit surprised that Lycoming is not going to kick it on third down. Shamori's going to roll left. Shamori's going to get hit, but he does not lose the football. Bobby McDevitt really brought the hammer down across Shamori at the 15-yard line. I'm really not sure I understand why Lycoming's even running that play. If they want the field goal kick to be the absolute last play of the game, timeout's taken by Lycoming. F&M has a timeout remaining. Lycoming will have a timeout remaining.
You just take a knee, you run the football.
I don't think you even bother taking the knee. I think you just kick it on third down or snap it on third down. You have a bad snap, you fall on the ball and do it again. They've already had one today. I just don't understand what there is to be gained by running that play on third down.
And they
Bobby
lose.
McDevitt very well could have knocked that ball out of the hands of Shamori. Shamori, great job to hang on to the football.
And right now, they are working the Lycoming long snapper and holder, working on what it's going to look like. Mulvihill, the long snapper, the multi-purpose senior, who last year was a starting wide receiver, this year started at tight end. He started all 41 career games at Lycoming. And it really is going to come down to the minutia on this kick.
Mulvihill is an all-conference player as a special teamer. He will snap it. Joe Okenda will hold. And Jamie Fisher try to fire the shot that wins this Centennial-MAC Bowl game for Lycoming. And Fisher's
on late. 15 seconds.
You have one job. There will be time left after this kick regardless.
You got to get this snap off. There's 7 seconds on the play clock.
Now Lycoming has a timeout. 32 yards to put Lycoming in the league. And that's blocked by F&M. And it crosses the line of scrimmage. Lycoming cannot advance it. F&M hangs on 21-20. 4 seconds remain. Lycoming can only stop the clock so many times. The Diplomats are going to win it. Lycoming went the whole year, never had a kick blocked. They had 3 blocked today. One was an extra point on a terrible snap that never even should have been kicked. But 2 legitimate field goal kicks, and F&M blocked them both, and look. Wow. I believe it was Frank McGlinchey who got incredible height, but that ball never even got to McGlinchey.
Man. And
Kilkenny came up with it, and he got through everybody. Tanner Harrisman takes a knee, and Franklin and Marshall wins it. 21-20, the Diplomats, for the second year in a row, have won their MAC Centennial Bowl Challenge game. What a win for the Diplomats. Unbelievable. This had all the makings of a heartbreaker for F&M. And they had just enough big plays on defense and then on special teams. Brendan Kilkenny comes up with the second field goal block after Dylan Jones had one all the way back in the third quarter. What a day.
Wow, that's why we play the MAC Centennial Bowl games. Incredible matchup between these two teams. Hard fought too. You could feel it in the second half. They were playing for something that mattered, that was important, and it came down to the wire. Credit to Lycoming for fighting the whole way through. This F&M defense did not allow a point in the second half.
Nice little moment at the end of the handshake line nearest the F&M bench is Marlon Fenstermacher, who got kicked out of the game back in the third quarter on a bad targeting call, a very bad call, hugging and posing for pictures with his former Lansdale Catholic teammate Joe Pinska, who had an interception earlier in this game. And boy, Lycoming back in the first quarter looked like they were going to come in here and spoil everything for F&M, and things very much changed around the middle of the second quarter when F&M's defense really tamped down on Lycoming after the Warriors led 20-7, and F&M just pitched a shutout for the final 37 minutes or so of this game. Really, what a great job by the F&M defense.
Yeah, you have to credit. I mean, they completely flipped a switch. Lycoming on their second drive of the game, they were able to score a touchdown, and then the drive after that, another touchdown, the drive after that, another touchdown. It was 3 straight offensive possessions back in the first quarter that resulted in those Lycoming touchdowns. And F&M's defense just flipped into another gear in the second half. They got to the quarterback, 8 sacks on the day for this Franklin and Marshall defense, and they came from a variety of people. Got to give a shout out to Matt Hamby. What a game he had in the second half. Seb Silva was outstanding. Joe Granahan had a sack in there too, and then of course Brendan Kilkenny with the big blocked field goal to preserve the lead for F&M. The defense, they did the job today, and they got it done.
Just an incredible game. Matt Hamby, really, you said it, Jack. He was just all over the field today, making plays in every way possible. Brendan Kilkenny, second team all Centennial player this year. He's had himself quite a career playing alongside such great players as Joe Granahan, Mike Sullivan, who graduated a year ago. Kilkenny's a guy that's occasionally gotten lost in the shuffle. And boy, he did not get lost at the end of this game. He just came barreling through the defensive line and the offensive line of Lycoming to get a hand on that kick that would have won the game for Lycoming. Jamie Fisher rarely misses. What a play by Brendan Kilkenny. You think he's going to remember that the rest of his life?
Yeah, just a tad. The final play of your career, and you block a field goal to win a bowl game. That's not a bad storybook ending.
21-20, Franklin and Marshall wins it. Just a great game. I'm so glad they've got this MAC Centennial Bowl Challenge expanded to 3 games. F&M could have been left out. They were going to be the third team, the one left out of the mix between Susquehanna, Ursinus, and the Diplomats, but all 3 got in because they added the game last year and because all 3 of those teams were able to get berths because Muhlenberg got pulled into the NCAA tournament, deservedly so. Muhlenberg, an at-large bid. Lycoming, they got their berth out of a 5-way tie.
Yep.
They knocked off Misericordia. That was a great win for Lycoming. Look, Lycoming is a team that hasn't been to the postseason in 11 years, so it's good to see that Lycoming's program seems to be going in the right direction. F&M for the last 11 years has really spent a lot of time in the postseason. ECAC Bowl games in 2009, 10, 12, and 13, and then 3 straight MAC Centennial Bowls. F&M lost to Albright a couple of years ago, but now 2 straight wins against Widener and Lycoming. It's really been a great run for this group of F&M seniors.
Yeah, it really has. I mean, they worked this program from a winning program into a dominant program that every single season is competing for a Centennial Conference championship and competitive in the playoffs, of course. Look at those 4 seniors right there. Schubert, Ayersman, Granahan, and Kilkenny. It doesn't get much better than those 4 guys. They're outstanding leaders. They're outstanding individuals. They've had outstanding careers, and they go say hi to their boy and KJ Pretty as well, who had a great game. 7 catches, 95 yards, a touchdown. What a season. What a career for KJ Pretty, one of the most exciting athletes on Franklin and Marshall's campus. Boy, I'm going to miss him running up and down the field of Shadek Stadium.
No, there is no doubt about that. He has been a tremendous player for F&M. Tanner Ayersman, his quarterback, great career for the Diplomats. Joe Granahan, Brendan Kilkenny, that entire linebacking core, the 3 seniors, Dylan Jones, Bobby McDevitt, and Vinny Speranza. There are people all over the field that we can't really name all. Steph Smith, a senior as well at cornerback, Harrison Worth, Stevie G.
Stevie G.
It's been quite a class. Brandon Lowe,
Connor
senior,
Bannon,
Vince Civardelli. Anybody we're missing here?
I'm going through. We got Connor Bannon. I think we got the whole crew, but they've got to give a shout out to this. John Lamato. How could we forget John Lamato? He's the man.
It's been a really good one for Franklin and Marshall. 3 straight years in the bowl picture, and these last 2 now, F&M coming away with championships. Long day of sports begins auspiciously for Franklin and Marshall. There is college basketball already going on at the Mazer Center, and then the women's basketball team is scheduled to kick off in about 13 minutes, taking on Elizabethtown. High hopes in Lancaster as the Diplomats welcome in a class of 4 freshmen, replaced the class of 3 seniors that graduated last spring. And then men's basketball is going to be coming up at 5:30. It's going to be the William Marshall Tip-Off Tournament consolation game between Stevens and Alvernia. And then the F&M men's team will be taking the floor at 5:30. The Diplomats to take on Hobart in the championship game.
No weekends off.
Yeah, no weekends off here. Final score once again, 21-20 F&M over Lycoming. Jack, it's been another good season. I hope we'll see you again next fall. I'm sure I'll see you plenty this winter as well.
Yes, you will. We'll have a good winter season.
For everybody here at Franklin and Marshall College, I'm Phil Soto-Ortiz. Thanks so much for watching this MAC Centennial Bowl game at GoDiplomats.com. We'll see you across the street for basketball. Thank you so much for being with us all season. 2019 football begins, but right now F&M celebrates another successful season in 2018. The Diplomats are champions of the MAC Centennial Bowl again.